Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media, the Fighters and Trainers channel, and most importantly, the People's channel. And we have here the one and only, the WBA at 140 pounds, Gary Antuanne Russell in the building today.
Yes,
Appreciate you for
sir.
tapping in, man.
You know it. You know it. I appreciate you having me, man. It's always a pleasure. How you
I was
feeling, man? Like New Year's came. I ain't talked to you in a whole year. What's up?
I know. I know. I don't want to get too into it cuz I know we only got like 10, 15 minutes or so, but listen, how's training camp for this fight, February 21st?
Our training camp is always active. You know what I mean? Um, we got a lot of younger guys that's just vigor. High on the energy side. So the intensity and the environment is always it's a dungeon. It's work. But I got this guy in front of me that's bringing a different style. So we definitely preparing for specifically him. Trying to familiarize ourselves with people who fight like him, so our sparring partners and stuff like that. They imitating that, and so far the camp is going good, but it ain't over yet. We got enough time on our hands to critique and stuff like that. But all in all, if I had to grade it, I give it a good A.
Mm. So the kid, southpaw, very lengthy, great in size, from Japan, Andy Oroka. What do
Andy
you think
Oroka.
about what do you think about his, his resume when you look at it, it's like, is there anybody that you can compare him to? Have you heard anything? He's been training in Vegas as well. I've been hearing. I interviewed Regis Progress. He said he watched him spar and he looks really good. He has you winning the fight, but he knows that you're in a real good one.
I mean, Andy Oroka, he got a good resume, but he hasn't fought nobody like me yet. So until then, you gotta show up and show out. You feel me? I come to fight every time. Everybody in the boxing world know when they see me rumbling, it's gonna be a show. Anybody that goes up against me as far as an opponent, they know they got.
You froze on me. I don't know if you got in the phone call or not, but you froze on me. She was getting interesting. I'm not gonna hold you. Double tap the screen if you guys are on mobile devices. Hit the like button if you guys are on PCs. Salute to everybody on the live, man. Really appreciate you guys for tapping in. Gary froze on me. We definitely got lots to talk about, but we back. He's back. He's back.
But I don't know what just happened. I'm telling you. But like I was saying, everybody that get in the ring with me as far as opponent, they know they gotta be in shape and they gotta come to fight. Ain't no halfway in, halfway out. You gotta be fully in it.
Tell me, do you feel like other people would be avoiding an Andy Oroka if they could?
Of course. You know, um, reason why, personally, from my perspective, is you got people out here that just want an easy victory. They don't really want to work too hard for one. You got to train hard to get in shape. Robot is gonna stand in front of you, beat on them, take a beating just to give back a beating. Those are the fights that people really want for real, because they don't gotta move around. They don't gotta waste too much energy. Your opponent is standing right there in front of you like a punching bag.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Andy Oroka, he's long. He's a smart fighter. At least he tried to be. He tried to be a smart fighter, and he's not just gonna let a guy just run him over. He's gonna make you work for it. A lot of people don't want to work for it. So yeah, I can see people stepping aside when he's mentioned because they don't want to work hard for a victory.
Yeah, super underrated have. And in that same time, do you feel like this fight goes the distance? Do you feel like you're this is a major card as well, under the Ryan Garcia and Barrios card? It's in Vegas. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, what does this card mean to you?
Man, the card gonna be legit. the card gonna be a great turnout. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's definitely about to be a great turnout.
Your first defense.
I told everybody I'm looking to be undisputed, looking to unify and stuff like that. And in order for me to get to that goal, I gotta get through this guy Andy Oroka.
Right.
I'm not overlooking him. None of that. He's a threat. Just like everybody is a threat to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna come in here well prepared. We're gonna take it to this guy, get the job done. Hopefully he ready.
So do you feel like it will go the distance? Do you feel like you will ultimately test yourself the most in this fight?
Uh, uh, it depends. It depends, because like I said before, one time, um, what you see on film is what you see on film. And you try to prep and prepare based off of what you see. But the day of the fight, your opponent can change how he gonna fight. So everything that you did prepare for, that's no longer there. So now you gotta just switch on the fly. You gotta use your eyes, use your IQ on the sport itself, and see what cues you're picking up from your opponent, and make the adjustments as you go on. My camp has been basically, risen off of that. It happens. These type of things happen. Won't be the first time that we prepare for it. Um, Preparing for the unexpected and what's to be expected at the end of the day. So if it go to distance, I wouldn't mind it. I'm gonna be in shape to go to the 12th round. I'm gonna be fighting from bing to bing. But if you slip up, it's gonna be a short night.
Mm.
If you wanna be real, I give it around like 9.
Mm.
You
Big
feel?
shots. Round 9. Okay. Okay, I
But
like
hey,
this.
you gotta tenderize them first. You know what I'm saying? Gotta tenderize them first. But it's gonna be a hell of a fight. It's gonna be a hell of a fight, a juicy one.
Mm-hmm. 100%. I mean, what do you think about Golden Boy and PBC working together to make this card happen? And I also heard that Oscar De La Hoya saying that, Turkey, this is also a Turkey card as well.
Well, I don't be trying to get into all that. What I can say is I'm open to new propositions. But before any of that, I would take it up with the camp collectively, and we will make these executive decisions. It's a lot of money out there that can be made, a lot of entertainment out there that can be
Mm-hmm.
had. And honestly, two hands is better than one, four hands is better than two. So when you're dealing with collaborations and stuff like that, if they all got the same intentions, good intentions on making the sport better, then I'm okay with that.
Right. Let's get into some of the questions in your division. Dalton Smith, now the new, WBC champion, stopping Subir Matias with the big right hand shot in the 5th round. What's your reaction to the fight? And Dalton Smith being rated #1 in the Ring magazine now. Ring number
Look,
one champion at 140
congratulations,
pounds.
congratulations to him. But honestly, it's Sabril. He was bound to get treated like that. If somebody had the cojones to go up against him and not be afraid, that was a turnout in my eyes anyway. Because his defense of discipline, he lacks it. He just try to muscle through everybody and just walk, 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 muscle. Like, nah, it's a science to walking. A pressure fighter isn't just coming there with brute strength. He still got head movement, good defense. His defense might not be, but there is a science to it. Applying pressure the right way. And he hasn't mastered that yet. He get in shape and he just walking. And Dalton Smith made him pay for it. Caught him with 3 of them. Bow, bow. The third one put him there. I said, yeah, that was kind of like bound to happen. Anywho's, Now Dalton Smith is on the chopping block. Everybody keep asking me, "Do you got to hit this?" No. If you got a belt, you on my radar. It's that simple.
Right.
If you got a belt, you on the radar.
So watching Dalton Smith, what did you get out of him? Say if you had to look face to face and face him for a unification.
Man, he's a textbook fighter. He is a typical textbook fighter from where he come from. He was just the
UK,
more obedient.
Sheffield.
Right, he was just the more obedient fighter that night. That's it. I'm not taking away his victory. That's why I congratulated him. But at the end of the day, I got more flavor than him. If I choose to fight him, or if I was to fight him, a style that I could choose to fight him with would be something that's more swag out. It's more swaggerific. Like, you know what I mean? He's just straight up and down. He got a jab, he got a left cross, he got a little pop. You know, he got some footwork. He know how to get the hell out the way. You know what I mean? But it ain't no special charisma that's there. That X factor that make you think, oh man, he got something else in his arsenal. Or oh man, I want to see him fight again. Like that wasn't there. It was just like, damn, he just knocked out Sabrina Matias. Okay, cool. He boxed him the right way. That was it. That was it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, he shooting 4 or 5 punch combinations. They all hard. All of them is like got a lot of steam on him, or he got some blistering hand speed. Or it wasn't none of that. You know, it was just like, all right, he's basic. He put a jab on his ass, put a left hand on his ass, put a couple of hooks. You know what I mean? When it was necessary, he grabs you. You know what I mean? It's some textbook stuff, but not taking away from his victory.
100%.
Shout out Doug Smith. And now I got somebody else that's on the radar, on the chopping block. Other than that, nah, it ain't nothing spectacular about him that I see.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Fair to say. Fair to say. Now the IBF champion Richardson Hitchens, he was in talks to talk about fighting Keyshawn Davis and Jermaine Ortiz, fights that didn't fall through. Do you feel like those fights for you, for unifications like that, might not happen due to the money? I mean, it seemed like that was the case with him. He wanted too much money for that fight, gave him the opportunity to fight, those two guys. And, now he's talking about, fighting Oscar Duarte. You know,
I
what's
saw
your
that.
thoughts? What's your thoughts on the IBF champion? Do you feel like it'll be hard to make these
And
fights
look,
because of the demands?
honestly, I don't give a damn what he do. I don't give a damn what he do. Fight me. Let me get through this. Fight me. God damn it. Because you got a belt. If you ain't gonna fight, get a motherfucking belt up. Just give it up and move up to another division. Other than that, you better find somebody that's a good negotiator. Go to the right people, get the right buzz, you know what I mean? Because what you can't take away from him is that he's a champion. He is a champion. He has a belt. He do have the right to ask for a certain amount. But if they saying nay to what you asking for because you're not producing how they want you to, then that's just tough titty. Other than that, I've been calling him out. Keyshawn don't even got no belt. So what's your point in fighting him? And this is his second time fighting at 140. I told everybody already. If you a Keyshawn Davis or or who else
Keyshawn
just
hasn't
moved
fought
up
at
to one?
140 yet.
No,
No,
that guy came in overweight. That's what it was. He
he
came in
he
overweight.
came out overweight at 135, scheduled to fight De Los Santos back home in Virginia. Then he moves up to fight Jermaine Ortiz.
Jeez. Right. The guy he fought
Jermaine
was
Ortiz
just
is
big.
welcoming him into the division.
Right. It was somebody else Keyshawn fought that was just bigger, and I assumed that was a 140 division fight. But it's a lot of guys moving up, and even them guys that
Oh,
ain't
I
ranked
know you
or
meant you
have a
meant
title
Lemos because Lemos fought Richardson Hitchens at 140, so you probably
40.
thought that was the case, but no, he brought Lemos down to 135. He didn't make the weight as well. You're right.
So those ones who are relatively new to 40, I said, get y'all feet wet first. Don't come to 40 and think you're just gonna be able to call out a champion immediately. Don't work like that. It could if a champion be like, hell yeah, come on, I'll fight you. But what champions is moving like that? Ain't no champions that got a belt is moving like that. It's irresponsible and honestly stupid.
Devin Haney, having that title and then moving up to fight, you know, um, at 147 against Brian Norman Jr. I mean, he was doing some of those belt hunting.
That's a business move, and that was a smart move.
Hmm.
It was a smart move. And once again, Brian Norman could have said, "Nah, I don't want to fight you. Get your feet wet first." But because of the love of the sport, he's not scared. It's a good opportunity. He took it. He took it. Could have said no, and if he said no, I'm pretty sure he would have probably moved back down to 35, Devin Haney, or 40, whatever, and just stay campaigning there. But if Africa ain't doing none of that, then it's pointless for him to keep popping his lips and complaining. Go ahead and fight. Get one of these mandatories out the way, and then you can really say, "Look, I ain't fighting nobody else. I need to fight a mandatory. I need to fight a unification, and I need this amount of money." But other than that, fight a mandatory. If you ain't gonna fight a mandatory, move up to another division. Bully somebody in the big weight division, and get a little belt. You know
He's
what I mean?
calling
Get
out
an
Devin.
interim.
Yeah, he's calling out
Just like
Devin.
yeah, just like Devin did. Just like Devin did. You can do the same thing.
Hmm.
I can do the same thing, but I already told everybody I'm not moving to another division until I wipe out mine. For what? Everybody from 35 moving up to 40. And honestly, people from 40, they moving up to 47 just because.
Bro, at 140, there's so many names that you guys could become Hall of Famers all in one division.
Exactly. Exactly. That's my point. What are you even moving up to another weight division for? 140 is the most stacked division right now. Damn, the best division right now.
Lots of people are calling you the boogeyman.
Man, listen, I gotta uphold that shit. So that's why I'm licking my lips for this IBF and the WBC and stuff like that. But I gotta deal with this guy that's in front of me first, which I will. You know what I mean? But listen, I gotta make an example out of this guy. Show everybody that I definitely come in superb shape, and I got a hell of a arsenal and skill set. No matter who you put in front of me, there is a solution to get through that. Now, people probably throw out there this goddamn Pollo. Pollo, he got a pass. That motherfucker, he got a pass. Got a pass. Telling you that, and I just saw something that he about to fight somebody, and hopefully get back in the rankings and get a belt. He might wind up fighting Dalton Smith.
I heard that.
If he do that and win, that's gonna be the first one I call out.
Huge buildup.
He
Huge
gonna be
buildup.
the first one I call out. I promise you.
Yeah, that got to be his fight. That got to be his fight. No word of a lie, that got to be his fight. He's probably getting a phone call. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Asking Fidget's on the card. Oh, yeah, once he gets back, shout out to Noop in the building. Yeah, man, I definitely want to get into some of those questions as well if he has the time. You know, appreciate everybody for tapping in as well. We're gonna be getting the call-ins right now as well because we got lots to talk about. So while we're waiting for Antoine to come back, we will get the call-ins ready. Salute to everybody on the live as well, man. Salute to everybody on the live. We're getting the call-ins on right now. Mills, what's the number? It's Mill City Boxing live on Instagram. Jump on live on Instagram and you guys can call in and let's continue to have this conversation. Shout out to everybody on the live as well. We got over 200 people on the live. Lots to talk about. Where do we start? Man, I like the Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, the zone face off. I think that was dope. I don't want to touch too much on the Javante Tank Davis. I know that he has a warrant for his arrest according to Miami PD. I haven't been on live for like I don't know. It's been like what 48 hours. So I ain't gonna lie to you. But salute to everybody on the live as well. Hold on. Do I got Gary still on here? I might have Gary still on here. Let's see. Once again, guys, we got the call ins. Make sure you guys first call in coming in. What's going on?
Hello,
Hello there.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You calling from YouTube, Instagram?
Instagram.
Okay. This ain't TikTok though.
Alright.
Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. Shout out to Bernie the Boxer. I seen you in the comments as well. Salute to everybody on the live. I see you. Okay. HLD, what's going on? HLD. Salute. Let's continue this boxing talk. She sounds sweet. That's nasty work. Shout out to Bernie the Boxer in the building. Salute to Bernie the Boxer. Bernie the Boxer, did you miss me?
Middle City, what's goody, baby?
What's going on, Bernie? How are you?
Man, all is well.
Man, lots of things been going on in the boxing world, bro. I was checking out your live for a brief moment, but I had to get off.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, man, we just had Gary Antuanne Russell on the live.
yeah, I
Um,
seen it a little bit.
he got a big fight coming up with Andy Aroka on the Ryan Garcia and Barrios card. You
Mm-hmm.
seen anything about you see Andy Aroka at all? Do you know anything about him from
No, Mill,
Japan?
no, no, and I gotta be better at that, Mill. I gotta be
Yeah,
better at watching these guys. I look at them and don't even. I know their names since I don't recognize them. I won't even watch them.
I
You
got you.
know,
Okay.
so I need to be better at that. Being that Gary Russell was a star in the future or in the making, and the plans is all for him. I need to know what he's going up again. You know.
Hmm.
So I need to get better at that, which I am gonna do that now that I'm I don't know what I'm doing with my show for real. I guess I don't know what I'm saying. I guess stepping it up somehow or something. Yeah.
Now listen, I enjoyed the video that you did in the gym. I think that
Mm-hmm.
was dope. I think that we need to get more content like that. Go more
Mm-hmm.
into depth into so many different skill levels that all different fighters got. I like that
Hmm.
you introduced everybody in the gym. I think
Yeah.
those are all little key points, and you just keep running it, keep running it
Yeah.
because that is authentic
Yeah.
content right there,
Yeah. Yeah.
exclusive,
Yeah.
only on Bernie the Boxer.
That's right.
Come on,
That,
man.
I
You
know,
gotta
man.
sell it what it is, baby.
I know. I know. I gotta do better at that. I gotta do better at that. Yep. Yep.
Listen,
Go ahead.
man, I wanted to get your thoughts also on, this lawsuit with Golden Boy, right? That
Crazy, bro. I didn't get to see what it's about, but it's crazy that they into it.
Well, it seems to me that as soon as we start talking about, 60-40 splits and the winner gets 5%, that maybe Virgil's not really like, wait a minute, what's all this 60-40? These guys deserve 50-50. Maybe it's not going to happen. I mean, what do you think? Do you think Boots should have called this bluff or not? Do you feel like he's been a unified champ? Even though that he fought for one of the titles, you know. because of that and what he's selling in Philadelphia, could give him that edge of getting that 50%. But why Oscar feels like that he has the need to get 60%. He made his little clapback Thursdays. Don't know if you've seen it. And then
Mhm.
also Virgil Ortiz's manager also came out. I dropped a video as well,
Mhm.
talking about the whole situation with the lawsuit. Seems like it was a communication problem, but yeah, it seems like there's a lot to this situation. Obviously you see that the zone, Turkey owns part of the zone.
Mhm.
Oscar don't got a zone contract right now. It's getting real spooky out here. I mean, people were thinking that hey, Virgil Ortiz was ducking, but now considering that he has a lawsuit, it's kind of showing him that listen, no, I want this fight and I need it to happen this year, Oscar. Oh, now we're in the lawsuit.
Yeah, yeah. I was alluding to that. Like I said, when I heard it, found out that Timothy Bradley had broken. That's how I know that they was into it. That it was in a lawsuit. To say that I was gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. That's probably what it was over. That he wanted to fight, but Oscar didn't want to fight. Um, but I'm not sure about the 60-40 split. I would say, yeah, you can give it a reason for 50-50. You can give it a reason for 50-50 based on the fact that he is a champion. He was a unified champion. No matter how you slice it is what it is. He's going in the record book for a champion. If they retire today, he will be considered a world champion unified. Virgil Ortiz would not. So, with that being said, you could see it 50-50. But then again,
And nowadays, how can we say that when you got Ryan Garcia, that was never a champion, doing the numbers that he was doing with Gervonta Tank Davis, which is the guys that are complaining about Tank's resume, which I don't think is as bad as what people look at it, but in the same time, these big fights don't necessarily need that much hardware to put into it. You know what I mean? You
I,
have Golden Boy. It's Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. These guys, these promoters, they have this competitive edge. Like I deserve more because I'm Golden Boy. Eddie might say that. Listen, I'm Matchroom. I'm coming into the U.S. It could be a lot of factors in this situation.
well, okay, so let's just take it slow. Well, you know, just looking at the fighters and what they bring. Now, Boots got like I say, he's got a big following too. He's got a lot of people following him as well. He's got a lot of anticipation on him as well. So what you said about Ryan Garcia, well, Ryan Garcia is almost in like the Jake Paul mode. So it's like putting asses in seats, doing whatever it is to being goofy or whatever it is to be put asses in seats. And he has some good knockouts. So with Ryan Garcia definitely going to command more because he's putting the asses in seats. Yeah, a little bit, but he's not a champion. So for him to get that, not see against a lesser fighter, maybe, but against the top tier guys, which I would say Barrios is more of a top tier guy because he's a world champion. He's got to be more fair if you want the title because you're the one that needs the validity. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Ryan Garcia, Barrios don't. Barrios is the world champion. So and so I think those should be the factors in it. Now, like I said, even with Virgil Ortiz and Boots, it's like, well, neither one of them are champions at 154. So when you look at, you can try to find a way to even it out, being that he did beat Stanionis, who was an undefeated fighter and not bad fighter, had a lot of I would say some mystery surrounding him, or I wouldn't say hype, but a lot of what's the word to look for? A lot they thought a lot about Stanionis. He was looked at. And then of course him and Virgil Ortiz didn't get a chance to fight for whatever reason, one of them getting sick or whatever. So, but Boots was champion. This guy he did fight Madrimov, who Madrimov was really good, and then he gave Bud that good fight. So they feel like, what I mean, he fought him right after Bud did, and I don't know if they said he beat him better or but he ended up fighting him and he won. But he already been beaten. Bud already beat him. So you just fight Madrimov. I mean, you fought a good fight, Madrimov, Boachuk. I think that makes for a 50-50 fight, And I was talking to somebody, I was asking them, like, why is you worried about the split when it should be about what do you want to get? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. One of the comments guy said Bernie don't know boxing, he don't know, and they don't know shit about no boxing. But I'm just saying it's like this. I'm not thinking about the split. I'm thinking about how much I'm gonna get, How much is it worth for me to fight Boots Ennis? How much is it for me to fight Virgil Ortiz? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I should be worried about more. If it's more in the pot, I don't know, but everybody got to make money off this. Everybody's in it to make money. So again, what is it going to take for me to get in the ring? And that's what the fighter should be worried about the most instead of the split. Now with the promoters, again, then you have to be realistic. You got Golden Boy with Virgil Ortiz and, all the things that come along with Virgil Ortiz. Who's Bruce Ennis with?
Matchroom.
Bathroom. Okay. So, okay, you got Virgil Ortiz. So neither one of them really if anything, it'll be Boots because he's a champion. He was a champion. If anything, it'll be Boots.
But then you gotta be now you gotta tug this way too, Bernie, right?
Okay.
Where the biggest fights normally held?
In Las Vegas or California, right? Okay.
And that's basically Golden Boy's, home, his area that he's been promoting for such a long time. You have to
Yeah.
give that props that he's selling different types of seats versus, I mean, now, granted, Boots is doing this thing in Jersey, Philly, of course. But
Yeah.
if you're talking about this fight being so big, are we bringing it there? If we're talking about this fight being at that magnitude, we're bringing it to Philly. We're bringing it to Jersey, like the
I mean,
Mike. We're bringing it back like the Mike Tyson days. And that is that what we doing?
yeah, Philadelphia always was a fighting town. And like I say, if you get 20,000 or 15,000, that's good seats no matter what. I don't give a fuck where you at. Put it in my backyard, you get 15,000 people in there. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't necessarily about where the fight is at. I mean, you could do that for tourism, for other things, to people to get into. But far as the fight, we weren't worried about the people coming to the gate. And the most people, if you come into the fight, uh, it's good to cater to them outside of their interest of the fight. But you know what I'm saying? The fight is going to sell itself. It's a great fight. Everybody want to see the fight. So whoever we can pack the house at, we can pack the house in Philadelphia. We can pack the house in Jersey. Of course, they want to do it probably because the more Hispanics is on the West Coast like that. You know, but like I say, I think either way though, I think Boots fans that travel either way. I think it's
Right,
that big
like,
of.
and they could be that way too. Who has the more loyal fan base that would travel, to someone's home?
Well, they got well. If you would
And
say,
and Vegas is neutral because in reality, I think Virgil really selling to Texas.
yeah, but I still, in my opinion,
His high
he is
gates are in
Texas,
over there.
but he's a Hispanic guy with a good following. So you know what I'm saying, it's already a built-in fan base over there. Because the Hispanic people are very, they're very compatriots. They really like to support theirs, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, why not? He's a young kid doing this thing. So why wouldn't you want to come and see that? So um either way over there, there's more advantage over there. Oscar De La Hoya grew his house over there in Las Vegas and in LA. So it's almost like Tank endorsing Floyd. I mean, Floyd endorsing Tank. You know what I'm saying? He's like bringing him up under his umbrella, so he's going to get all his fans or everything comes. So the one thing about it, if I'm the guys, still is let's just get the event. Oscar De La Hoya was a champion. Matchroom is a promoter, but let's just get the event because the promotion is going to be huge. The fight is going to be huge. So let's just make the fight happen. Let's just do whatever we got to do to make the fight happen. This ain't gonna be the end all to be all the fights. This ain't gonna be the last fight. It ain't the first fight. So let's just get the fight to happen. That's what we need to do. Need to have more unity in that aspect. That's what I would think.
Right, right. No, yeah, and at the end of the day, it's geared up. But now looking at it like this, do you look at it like Virgil was ducking, boots all along, or do you feel like he was truly wanting this fight, and he probably looked at it like, "Yo, I'm looking bad right now. You saying I want 60%, which I'm probably okay with just 50." Like, what do you
Yeah,
think now in that
I was.
situation?
That's what I was thinking. Like I say, I don't know what's necessarily the lawsuit is about. I didn't read the articles on it or what he feels or what he said, but I said the same thing because everybody thought Boots was ducking. Then when he came
So
face to face,
you haven't watched the manager's video.
no,
Okay, I
no.
got you. Can I fill you in?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, go. But go finish your statement though as well.
So like I said, I was figuring, now it looked like Virgil Ortiz is ducking. So, but then I said once I read that Virgil Ortiz and him was arguing, I said on my little show earlier and what I did went live earlier, I said that maybe he's not ducking. Maybe he wants to fight, and maybe Oscar De La Hoya don't want to fight. No, maybe, and he's upset about that. Like, I think I can beat this guy, and I'm ready to go. So that's just what I was thinking. So I wanted to put him in a different light because, like I say, everybody else thought he was ducking. First, it was Boots they thought he was ducking. Now, when Virgil Ortiz they talking about fighting with Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? It sound like he's ducking. So now, go ahead, fill me in about the manager.
All right, so you're gonna get Oscar De La Hoya's 2 minute clip and then the manager right after. Little commercials. Smash the like button. Double tap the screen if you guys are on mobile devices. To update you because I only speak the facts, which smokes the lies out and irritates others who are not telling the truth. So yesterday we sent a legal letter over to Virgil's manager, Rick Meridian, demanding he stops interfering with the Boots Virgil negotiations. And of course, this morning we wake up and here's a lawsuit from Virgil Ortiz claiming he wants out of his Golden Boy contract. I mean, this is the same Virgil who told Ring Magazine, 2 months ago, that he couldn't be happier at Golden Boy. So what happened since then? Virgil's team hired a new attorney who is also Canelo's attorney. The same guy who sued to get Canelo out of his Golden Boy contract. Does that sound fishy to you? But this is all Rick Meridian's agenda. I was just trying to make more money for my fighter. A 60-40, I believe he deserves it. And that's the reason why you want out of your contract? It just proves your agenda, Rick. Look, Virgil and his father are really nice people who don't deserve to be in the middle of Rick's bullshit. Virgil just wants to fight and not deal with the drama. Because I know him. He's a fighter. Look, and if the Saudis want to buy the fight, trust me, they will buy it. I just finished making a deal with them for Ryan Garcia versus Barrios next month. Look, they don't choose their favorite promoter. They choose the best fights to put on. And look, it's unfortunate that anyone can file a lawsuit in America without basis or facts, simply for the optics. But that's what this is. And whoever's going to interfere with our existing contract with Virgil Ortiz, we will take aggressive action against you. He is not a free agent, and we will prove that. And by the way, if you hate clapback, you're likely the topic of the week, and you're the problem in boxing. Have a great day. Nice video, Oscar. I loved it. Oscar, look. Virgil's I'm not Bill Haney. I'm not these other people that you get into it with, and it's just nasty talk bad about you. I actually respect you very much. I think you've done a lot of good things in the sport of boxing for fighters and the sport in general. And you're right, Oscar. We were all happy, been happy until we weren't. Why aren't people happy? It's not hard to understand. In life, you communicate. Your relationships, business, personal, it's all communication, Oscar. And when the communication breaks down and you stop, that's usually when the problems happen. I didn't do anything wrong.
You know that. But it's okay. Like I said, I'm never going to say a negative word about you, never going to bash you. Nothing of the sort. So you have fun with your clapback Thursdays and just look, this is not a boxing ring where you're going to beat the fuck out of me till I can't see straight and probably kill me. We're not in a boxing ring. I'm undefeated in my position. Go and look at my resume and see when I've lost. Because I've only went to war or defended my fighter when I've had no choice. You know I've called you and texted you. We're grown men. We're supposed to just talk it out. That's what grown men do. Instead of disintegrating all these people in the marketplace that you do business with and jeopardizing your fighter's well-being by talking so disgusting about all of them, you should stop and reflect what that does. You should. You can buy and sell every person you just about come in contact with, including me, probably 1,000 times over. But that's not what we're discussing here. You don't need boxing. You don't.
So,
Boxing's a
he's saying that Oscar's in brief in the contract because of the way he conducts his business online and makes me people like he feels like the promoters giving the promoters a hard time to make some of these big fights happen. So that's him clapping back at Oscar and Oscar, trying to defend himself and the reasons why. I mean, what's your reaction to all that?
Sounds stupid to me. Like I said, I didn't really understand what he was talking about. He was just going around everything. He was saying the line of communication, and Oscar De La Hoya was saying about about he was trying to get more money for his fighter, but yet Virgil Ortiz wants to fight. So you know if that's the case, I mean, of course, everybody wants more money, but what are we going to do to get the fight happen? That's what the number one thing should be. What is going to be for the fight? You know, I don't know. So I don't, like I'm saying, I'm kind of lost for that. I don't understand what the real feud is about. What's the feud about?
Well, I mean, he clearly, I don't know. I feel like it's money at the end of the day. I really do because every every great fighter that doesn't need a promoter tends to leave. We see a pattern here, don't we, Bernie? This is the same attorney that manager that got Canelo out of his deal with Golden Boy. So this is the same thing that he's doing. um he's aggressive. He goes aggressive with the stuff that he does. So I mean, I don't know. It seems like this fight doesn't seem like it's going to mature this way.
No, and like I say, I don't understand what's the problem. What is the manager upset about? I don't understand what the manager is upset about. It's like if he's saying that he feel like Oscar's being too greedy and that's holding up the fight, and Virgil wants to fight, or that's the only way I can see it. I don't understand. I don't really don't understand the beef though, for real. I don't, I'm just lost about it. I'm saying I don't understand the beef. Like you said, if Virgil Ortiz says he's a fighter, what is it going to take for him to fight Boots Ennis? That's it. That's all we want to know is what it's going to take for you to get the fight. Now, what's the manager? Now, we heard the manager was saying that he wanted him to fight Earl Spence. He didn't want to fight Boots. So is that the situation too? Is you don't want him to fight Boots, and Oscar wants him to fight Boots, and you rather him being the manager, not worrying about what Enos, what Ortiz want to do is what you want to do as the manager. So is the manager and the promoter conflicting? What is the conflict about? Is it about fighting Boots or not fighting Boots? Is it about the money that he wants, or is not, or the money that he's not getting? Which one is it?
Right. I think they have documentation on it, but yeah, it just Ortiz files a lawsuit to end the Golden Boy promotional contract.
So I think what we need to do is find out what I probably can't talk to, or Ortiz probably can't talk, but I would think he would, at least can say what he's disgruntled about. That shouldn't be nothing that's that you know confidential. It's a reason why he's upset. Why he wants to file a lawsuit. So we need to find out what Ortiz got to say about it. Why is he filing the lawsuit? If he's filing the lawsuit, but you know what I'm saying? The manager, I'm sure wouldn't do it if he wasn't on board with it. So what are they upset about, Bill? I don't
Mm.
understand. What are they upset about?
get more into it. But obviously, we have some other news too. Brian Norman Jr. is now not with his father. He's not the
Yeah,
head trainer. He decided to make that decision on his career.
yeah.
Um, what's your reaction to that?
Oh man. Unfortunate, 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 unfortunate. I don't know. Maybe since the Mustafa is down there, maybe he can go with Mustafa. I think it's Mustafa's in Atlanta, right? Maybe we can go over to Mustafa, who seems um, to be able to express himself more with his boxing, the way he wants his fighter to fight and the abilities that the fighter has. Seems more maybe know how to express himself a little bit more, you know, and give him a so he can understand exactly is what going to make him better. Maybe Mustafa. But father and son, sometimes they do clash. Brian Norman Junior, senior, I don't, I seen him on your show a couple times, and I heard him talk kind of calm sometimes. Then I seen him, be all upset. Seems like he upset, which, you know, again, I don't know. Like you said, he was it's everybody to blame on that. It's everybody to blame when it's it. Because when you lose, your fighter when the fighter loses, the trainer loses. You know, so when the fighter wins, the trainers win. So, um, but really and truthfully, like I said, I think they was really hanging their hat on the left hook, catching Devin Haney with left hook. Devin Haney smarter and stronger than we thought. And that was just it. Like I say, this guy been boxing for a really long time at a high level. He was the top amateur in the country for a long time, and his experience probably just prevailed. You know, his experience probably just prevailed. And really the turning point was the knockdown. The turning point was knockdown.
So
Brian,
early too.
it was early, and they weren't expecting that. So, I told the manager, like I say, don't underestimate Devin Haney's power, and that's probably what he did. Probably thinking they called him pillow fist. They believe in this and believe in that. He been there with some good guys and never been hurt, and now he gets this guy and that's supposed to not be able to hurt him, and he's hurt. So that probably messed his whole game plan up the whole time. Messed him up the whole time, and he couldn't implement the plan. Well, he was smothering himself. Devin Haney was smothering. But then, I'm just gonna chalk it up to experience, probably just experience. I was really hanging my hat on the left hook that he could land it, if he could land it, if when he landed, what would it do? And that would distort Devin Haney. But like I said, when I watched Devin Haney against Ryan Garcia, it was when he got back up, he was still in the fight. It was just that he went down. But when Devin Haney got up, he wasn't groggy, he wasn't wobbly. He still took control of the fight. So if you watch it for the eyes to see what he does well instead of what he does not do well, then you would have realized that he's not just a guy that's gonna get knocked down and go away. He's not gonna just gonna get knocked down and cower out and quit. You know what I mean? So I think that might have just been the element of surprise, and that's just what it is. Maybe they should have went back and watched the fight a couple of times to see exactly what was going on, and then probably give Devin Haney a lot more credit. You know what I mean? And then, like I say, you could have been overlooking him some bit. Like they said, you guys coming over to the city late. You really not. I know you did it in Japan, but this is a different and it's a bigger fight. So
In a
that
different level.
yeah, it's a bigger fight. And like I say, that time zone, I don't know the difference in the time zone, but it's just different. If you acclimated yourself early in Japan, maybe you should have acclimated yourself to early in Dubai. You know, so it was just probably just however they did it. But maybe like I say, if they could have went and looked over the fight and seen, what Devin Haney did well, instead of trying to criticize him so much, if I can say that, and what he's not doing well, and then he had to get into the mind of the fight. Like I said, he got knocked down with smooth. He got caught real beautiful. He got hurt right before that. You know what I'm saying? Caught him with a good check hook, I think it was. And then
Yep.
he with the whoop wop with the right hand, the hook right hand. And you know what I mean? So
That's all she
again,
wrote.
if you thinking that this guy can't hurt you, and then all of a sudden, he had a decent first round, and then this
Mhm.
guy comes out of nowhere, he stuns you the first time, and then he capitalizes and he drops you. I mean, hey, could make you, like I say, lose sight of things. Now Brian Norman is tough, and he showed his toughness. He showed his toughness, by keep fighting and going forward and trying to fight. But maybe it was just a shock factor. I don't know why I don't know what happened, but maybe, like I said, I didn't heard him say he wouldn't play second fiddle to anybody. Well, you got to let your ego get out of that. It's not necessarily second fiddle, but you can critique your son things that do well, but let him add on to some things that somebody else can see, because it's always good to have some. It's not bad to have some fresh eyes with a guy that knows what they're doing. So uh, I wouldn't say that. He could be the advisor and the guy could be the trainer, and then him and the trainer could talk about it. It's nothing to argue about in training, but when you see something, then you just sit there and you guys can analyze things. Just you and the trainer, not you and the other guy that you're bringing, and not with you and the fighter. You and the trainer. Maybe. So we'll just you know I I'm saying I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. What you want best for what's best for your son. And again, you did get him to the world championship, but maybe you took that fight too early. And if you think you did took the fight too early, or why not bring in some fresh guys? Why not bring in some fresh eyes? Like I say, whether it was Muhammad, whatever the guy, what's his name? Muhammad, what's his name?
Yeah, you're talking about
The one that wear the skirts,
yeah,
not the
yeah,
skirt, but the Mustafa. Mustafa. I'm
Mustafa.
sorry.
Mustafa,
Shout out
yeah.
to Mustafa. Shout out to Mustafa. Like I said, I was listening to him, and where he was teaching this kid. Like I said, he got a good breakdown of boxing. So could have used him, maybe make it more plain and clear to Brian Norman, as opposed to go get him. You know what I'm saying? Make him give him more clear instructions. Like I heard him say that he wanted him to use the jab to the body and but Devin Haney's tough. Like I say, he's slick. When I say tough, he knows the way around the ring. He knows when to hold. He knows how to, keep you off balance with his feints and, with his movement. And, so I don't know. Sad, but what else can you do? I don't know.
Yeah, his like you were saying, his dad said his one word is boxing. It happens. But Greg had something to say about it. He said, even at this point in time, I guess he has his phone in his hands. I don't know if you put too much emphasis in that, right? But what do you think? I mean, is that odd to you to see, a coach have a phone in their hands while talking to you? I mean, Greg was saying, what are you doing in between rounds? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You
Yeah,
tell me.
I wouldn't understand why he would have his phone. Why would not in a big no fight? What did you got your phone for? So there's no reason to have the phone. There's no reason to have a phone in his hand. There's no reason to have the phone in his hand. I don't know why he had his phone in his hand. Um, you know, uh, man, I wouldn't know, but let's just give Devin Haney the credit. Let's just give Devin Haney the credit. The man couldn't reach him with the hook. He was trying to throw the hook. He didn't know how to set it up well, and he just didn't land the hook. It was just it. Like I say, Devin Haney's a three-time world champion now. He was a two-time world champion then. He been in with some good guys, whether you call them washed or not. They were experienced guys. Regis Prograde, Lomachenko, Cambosis even. Cambosis had a win over Mickey Bay to get a shot at the title. He beat Teofimo Lopez. So Devin Haney's been in with some experienced guys, Linares, Gamboa, Jojo Diaz was Olympian and a world champion. He's been in with some experienced guys. This was his first real experienced guy. You know, this was his first real champion getting in the ring with Brian Norman for real. Was Devin Haney. That was his first champion getting in the ring with. So let's just think about that. Something that I didn't think about first. You know what I'm saying? But just now, as I'm thinking, that was his first champion that he ever been in the ring with. He was upgraded to the championship and then he defended the title. You know, so but he hadn't been in there with no champions. Devin Haney had been in with champions, so probably just experience played a factor in it.
Okay, okay, fair to say. Now, obviously on Twitter, his manager Clark posted up a video. I mean, a picture of him working with Derek James. Not necessarily his coach yet, but went out there and checked out Derek James, see if the chemistry is right. Now, Derek James, a fighter that has kind of really lost a lot of some of the fighters that he's had. He had Frank Martin, he had Errol Spence, he had Anthony Joshua, he had Ryan Garcia. I mean, these all guys that left his stable. Whether you took a when you took a L, yeah, Frank Martin, yeah, he took a L with Tank. Now he had to go to Buddy McGirt.
Mhm.
Um, he added Alicia Baumgartner on his stable, but in the same time, yeah. What do you think about the Derek James per se?
Well, like I say, Derek James, he was a good fighter, a decent fighter. He had a lot of courage. I seen him, I see the one fight I seen him fight. He was fought the number one contender, and he only had 10 fights. He fought the number one contender, so that shows what kind of belief he had in himself. Um, I don't know why what Frank Martin ever said about why he left Derek James. But it seems like he got the same style, the same punch selection for all of his fighters. And that could probably be where the problem lies at. Um, but like I say, I don't. Derek James is a big name in the sport, though. He had one of the best fighters in the world at one time. Then you got other guys that he got Alicia Baumgartner, of course. Was an undisputed champion. She's the champion at 130. You got guys like Anthony Joshua going to him, but it was just he wasn't gonna beat Usyk. The guys he fought, Derek James couldn't teach him how to beat Usyk. Usyk is a master in there, Um, so I don't know, Derek James. I wouldn't mind him looking, and he's a younger coach too. Ronnie Shields is kind of getting a little old, getting a little older. You know, so he's the next big thing. He's the next. Derek James is right in there. If you're not going to a Buddy McGirt or something like that, I man. So and he's close. He's down south. They're not too far, I guess, from Atlanta and Texas. Buddy McGirt, I think he's up in New York or wherever. And I don't know, man. Like I say, shout out to Derek James. Like I say, he did build a champion. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I think that Brian Nona, it's just certain things you just got to work on in the gym and get comfortable with doing in the gym. Because he got some good attributes. He's tough. He got a strong punch. But it's just certain things he can work on. But a lot of times these guys be stuck in their ways too. A lot of these guys just be stuck in their ways. So, I don't know. Maybe let's just bring in Derek James to help us a little bit and see what he see, you know. But I don't know where he goes from here. I don't know.
Yeah. No, and I hear you on that. Like we were talking, like you said, you seen the interview with senior Brian Norman senior, and it was like two different sides of him in that interview. You're right, 100%. Because
Yeah.
the way I worded one of the questions was, if your son needed you, would you be there? And then after that, the flow of the interview completely changed, right? But you tell me, I mean, a Derek James, do you feel like that's a good fit for the Normans? I mean, I see people in the comments say, what about BNB? I don't know. What you think?
I was hearing that too though, but I don't know what kind of rumors that I don't know I don't know how that would go. I thought that they were real cordial in their assessment of the sparring session, which was just a good sparring session. And I named all those reasons beforehand. It was nothing crazy. But again, you got a guy like Bud Crawford, and if the guy not getting blown out, they want to put a two on the 10. I just was listening to Lamont Peterson them, and they got a little episode out, and they was telling about how they whooped Floyd Mayweather, but it's different under the lights. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely didn't just whoop on Bud Crawford. He was a tough fighter, and that was it. So it was really nothing to really say except to be like try to have some type of confidence in your own that I kind of stayed with him a little bit. But then this is sparring, So I don't know, but I asked him about that too though. How would we feel about Brian Norman Jr.? But I haven't heard word back from him. I don't know what the situation is with the rumors and how that is. So I don't know, but like I said, Rand told me, Bernie, we can't take them all. I said I'm like one of them all like the vet, you know what I mean, or like the Humane Society for fighters. You know what I'm saying? I want to save them all.
But maybe
So,
it's that time, because Griffin. I've been seeing he's been working with a guy out here in Massachusetts,
yeah, we not with Griffin no more neither.
and then you don't have Keyshawn no more. Maybe, and then Crawford retired. This might be that time.
Like I say, we got, but it's could be good. We got some other fighters that we're
Of
bringing
course,
in.
Lester Martinez and so forth.
Yeah, we got some other fighters, and we got some newer fighters we bringing in. We're gonna be working with a couple guys this week that's coming in. I don't want to name them because I don't know if the people want me to say who they are, but we got some
High
fighters
caliber
coming.
names.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
something
I
that's
would
to
I
shake
would say
shake.
high, but they they caliber names. Um, and so but we got a chance to work with the newer guys that we got coming up, and so we just make more time for that, to put in the time with the guys, the young guys that we can mold, what I'm saying, and they're still apt to learning, because a lot of these guys come in, they don't want to learn nothing else, and a lot of people just want to do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just want to do what they want to do. They're not really there to learn. They just want you to be their yes man and tell them, agree with them, So that's not what a trainer is. The trainer is supposed to bring out the best in you and find out what you do wrong and find out what you do well and try to navigate between the two. So, it's just all about your learning curve. Mayo Stewart had that real well, where he could critique a fighter and curtail them to where, they had a lot of success under his tutelage. And that's kind of hard to do. But I think it's trying to get a rapport with the guys and really get a trust with them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we the best though at that. I feel like we the best. But our work ethic is so hard, so tough that I think it scares fighters. The way we put fighters through the paces, they'd be like, I ain't used to that. I don't really, you know what I mean? So but I'm working. I wouldn't mind. I love working with the pros. I love working with the high level guys. And so Brian Norman, I think a lot about him. Like I say, he got a good punch. He's tough. You know what I'm saying? Not really no finesse, but I like he do got a little finesse because, like I say, the 2-1 that he knocked out Cuevas with, the leap hook he knocked out the other guy with. But like I say, coming
Jen
upon
Sasaki.
Jin Sasaki. But the one thing I think they did was they probably took the fight too fast with Devin Haney. They probably should have got him better a little bit. He probably need to fight some former champions or something like that. Maybe a Stanionis or somebody like that before he fought a Devin Haney, who's pretty much well rounded as a fighter.
Do you think if he went the Boots Ennis route would have been better?
Yeah, because he didn't have much hype as Bruce Ennis. He didn't have that. He didn't have that. He got the punch, but Bruce Ennis got otherworldly skills. When you look at him. So when you looking like that, everybody's like, you above these guys. But a guy like Brian Norman kind of coming out of the woodworks, and having like an underground type of following. You know what I'm saying? And to be upgraded to the champion, and then fight some solid guys to establish yourself as a champion, and then defend against the championship. Maybe should have went that route a little bit more. It's too late now, but you know, probably they was thinking too, like I say, Haney looking vulnerable. If we catch him with his left hook, he ain't gonna be the same, and then that's gonna blow us up even more. Not, but they're discounting the fact that this guy, like I said, has been in with champions on all levels. So probably looking, you seen the pot of rain, the goal before. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is. Fighters disappoint. They don't get along with they fight with the father sometime. And I think Brian Norman, as a trainer, as the trainer, has to look at himself. Has to look at himself. I know that's his son, but he's also his fighter, not just his son. He's his son outside of the ring. But in the ring, he's his fighter. And but that's his big. That's the biggest fighter he had. That's his top fighter that he had. So he's learning too. You know what I mean? I think he knows boxing. He knows a lot about boxing, and but he was learning too. So it was just a learning thing. He needed to probably self reflect. That's all.
Right. The other day, Miami PD says that they have a warrant for Javante Tank Davis.
I meant to say that I had it on my notes when I just did that little live right there. Whatever I meant to say, that I had that wrote down on my notes. Yes, man. Yes, man. And everybody get mad at me about that, and I'm like, man, wow. You know, and the stuff that he did was just don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. They had the reports and they read the report out. I mean, crazy. I mean, crazy. I mean, just crazy. You talking about that's all it take to take him down his old woman? That's insane. I don't even think that's his baby mom, right? The girl he with, that's not his
I
baby
don't.
mom,
I don't.
right?
I don't believe so.
So he just crazy over women. I don't understand. You know, Mill, like I'm saying, I'm handsome, and I done had him eating out my hand and doing whatever I wanted, especially when I was living the life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was picking and choosing, throwing them away, doing whatever I wanted. Now, you know, once I got into a relationship with a couple of, you know what I'm saying, and the feelings got involved and they kind of got closer in, you know, shit happens and you know, they don't look at you as, you know, they're not so in awe by you because like, nigga, I seen you take a boo-boo. Nigga, I know you, nigga, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, you know, I feel more comfortable with you now. So, you know, I ain't taking it, you know, but uh if that I'm eating out my hand, they eating out my hand. So you got a guy like superstar like Tank. I ain't studying no girls like you no matter. They come a dime a dozen. Girls like you know what I'm saying? I ain't my mind ain't really wrapped around trying to really love a girl like that. I'm gonna treat you with respect, but far as loving you and worrying about what you do, and it just don't make no sense to me. You know, like I said, I mean, chasing a girl down, grabbing her by the hair, by her neck, she didn't want you. You're a billionaire, handsome millionaire. You famous. I'm just it just with all those things that come along with it and only in a 5 month relationship, according to the reports, I don't know. This is not a girl that you grew up with, your high school sweetheart. Now, what I'm saying, these are new girls that you're meeting along that you came into with fame. These are girls that you're meeting that you came with in fame. So I don't know how you get so stuck on them like that to where, like I'm saying, you dragging them by the hair, chasing them down because you should be hitting them and quitting them.
Mm.
That's sad. Like I say, you know, man, I don't even want to get into what I want to say. I don't even want to, but the woman is powerful. A woman is powerful. And they said that in the Bible, right? The woman that took him, that woman is that thing is powerful in between their legs. And you know, only thing I just want to judge about that is not his love for it, but I just hate to see him lose his career behind a woman.
Right.
That's all. So
Right. No, I hear you on that,
that's
man.
the best. That's the worst thing I can say is I hate to see him lose all his career behind a woman. You know, and she because you can't listen. The thing of my auntie, like she told me, you can't measure it. You can't take it with you. You can't put it on a shelf. You can't put it in a pocket. You know what I'm saying? So the best way to beat a woman is in here. It ain't gonna be down there. It ain't gonna be down there. Once you beat her down there and get her up here, then you keep controlling this, and then you'll have access to that down there. But boy, if you trying to control that down there, you ain't gonna never be able to do it, Mill. You
Mm.
can't take it out. You can't put it in your pocket, Mill. You can't measure it, Mill. You can't know who was in there while you was gone. You will never know, Mill. You will never know. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the emotional. I don't. I don't. I don't.
HLD, thank you for the cinco. He says, I blame T Pain for Tank's issue. I'm in love with a stripper. You know it. You know it. You
I,
know it.
well, like I'm saying, but I thought the whole purpose of the fame was to hit him and quit him. I
Mm.
thought the whole purpose of the money was to hit him and quit him for real.
Hello.
That's what I always thought it was for. You got you the man with the gold rules. So like I'm saying, I'm Tank Davis, bitch. I don't you ain't fucking with me. So what? It's some better ones coming next. It's some better one. I'm telling. I bet just like anybody else. It's some bad bitches. Excuse my language. It's some from just that you grew up with in your area in Baltimore.
Mm.
It's some fine ones that ain't famous.
Mm.
Just bad. Like I'm just bad. Just if you want a bad
You can get the very best
and good and company. That's what your man needs. Some
in
good
good
company,
condition.
man. Some good company. Fine. Just keep your mind off while you ain't training, while you got all this stuff going on. I don't know, so I don't know what's up with the kid. Somebody was talking about, got all the potential in the world, but for some odd reason, just go the other way. And that's just sad about Tank. I just hate, everybody just want to see the kid fight. That's what we're interested in, to see the kid fight and to see him go out like that. So now we're talking about the title. So Kid Austin, them, they are happy. They are happy. They are like, man, Kid Austin them, because then they just seen they put the WBA, they called him they called him champion in recess.
Yes.
They called him champion in recess. Now, the thing about that though is because the WBA so bogus, like I told you, they so bogus that even if he wins the quote unquote title, soon as Tank come back, they're gonna strip him of that title and give it back to Tank.
Mm. I mean, the way Tank's situation look, hopefully it's allegations.
But that shouldn't stop him from fighting. As long
Hmm?
as he ain't in jail, he should be fighting. It shouldn't stop him from fighting. Just because he's not in jail, he's just facing a charge or something. That shouldn't stop him from fighting. At least can get a fight in, and if
So he
with all
got
the
a
risks,
so he got a warrant.
and you're gonna bond out.
He gonna bond out
You're gonna bond out.
same
Sure, they're
night.
gonna bond. Because now what he did, it is. I mean, it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? He did grab her up and whatever. But I don't know if they talking about kidnapping and I don't know. I mean, at least you can't stop the man from making a living. That's all I'm saying. Maybe put a restraining order on him. He can't go buy the girl or something, but you can't stop the man from making a living. You know what I'm saying? They was in a domestic dispute relationship type thing. You ain't heard his side or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you still can't do that. You can't grab a girl by the neck and take her no place and do all that. That's wrong. But like I said, you don't know what provoked him. You don't know what caused that. But like I say, it don't sound like nothing to where he can't bond out and resume a training camp to get in the fight.
Tap in. People in the comments they said Mike Tyson did worse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of yeah. I would yeah. Mike Tyson did worse. So it's a lot of fighters that get into it with their female partners, and while it might not look good on your reputation, still has nothing to do with your fighting ability. So you still gonna put asses in seats. Controversy sells, and again, we still haven't heard his side of the story. It don't sound like he beat her up. He took her with him, I guess. I don't, he wanted her with him. He took her with him. He forced him. I don't know. I don't know. But don't know the volatility of their relationship. Never know what she's done to him. But he's not going to call the police on her. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she did this. Oh, she did that. He probably ain't going to do that. You know what I mean? So it's just once his her word against his, and I don't think it should get in the way of the fight. I don't think it should get in the way of his fight.
Listen, we got Keyshawn Davis doing some interviews. Obviously he's fighting Jermaine Ortiz. Right now he's saying that he's gonna stop Jermaine Ortiz. Um, you got Jermaine Ortiz very, very confident. I don't know if you was able to see their interviews with All
Yeah,
the Smoke with Ward and Roy Jones. I mean, what you get out of the interview, what you get out of the two fighters' confidence leading up to this fight.
he's just gonna make for a great fight. He's gonna make for Keyshawn Davis, like I said, not getting a gimme. Is that's what we want to see, competitive fights. So he
Not
should
getting
be.
a gimme. Not getting, like Jermaine Ortiz said in that interview. He said that he had no choice but to take this fight.
Yeah. I mean, if you like I say, this could be his last time on the big stage. Like the say, the opportunities don't come, that far. If they don't always come that often. But he did two great performances against two high level guys. That's why he's getting this shot at you know. But if I was him, well, I don't know. They both dangerous. Richard Hitchens is dangerous too, but he was for the world championship. This is not for a world championship. But if he do happens to defeat Keyshawn, then he should be on the verge for fighting for a world championship again. Um,
For that number one spot at the WBO.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, maybe but man, we got to see. Never know how things gonna play out. You got Tio versus Shakur. Never know what Shakur gonna do. It could be he could vacate if he wins, beats Keyshawn. He gets the number one spot. Shakur vacates the title, go back down to 135. He's open for the spot. He could fight for the vacant title against I don't know who, but so he could be in position. So it's a big fight. It's a lot at stake.
Vice
You know.
versa, Tio wins, fights Keyshawn after.
Oh yeah, if Tio wins, then he fights Keyshawn after. So, so Keyshawn got a lot of incentive as well. We just got to see how it plays out. But Jermaine Ortiz brings a good fight, and that's what the people want to see. So that card is going to be amazing. January 31st. Turkey Out Sheep did a great job with matching the card up with those guys. It's a great card. Now listen, I forget about that, but Hitchens is fighting on Mario Barrios card, right? You
Supposedly.
got, so you got Hitchens fighting, and then you got Antoine Russell fighting, and they got a little rivalry talking. So that's good. It's good stuff. But like I
Yeah,
said,
that's nice. Yeah.
yeah. So we got two back to back, but about a month apart. And like I say, it's a good. We just want to see what Keyshawn gonna do. Everybody want to see what Keyshawn gonna do. Even if Jermaine wins, nobody really be so much surprised. But everybody trying to see what Keyshawn gonna do. You know.
Jermaine, when I asked him, if is this the best guy he's been in the ring with, and he says no, not even close. He believes that Loma's better than him and Teofimo's better than him, and possibly another no name in his resume as well.
Well, I don't know. I don't. I wouldn't. I don't know. Well, Loma had a built up reputation.
Two-time
So
gold medalist.
I can see that. I can see that. I can see where he's saying he had a lot of praise behind him, and
He
Lomachenko,
sparred him before he fought him,
yeah, but he ain't been in the ring with Keyshawn. Keyshawn gonna be on his
but he went
ass.
in. But he was in the ring with Lomachenko though.
Okay, yes, he was in the but Lomachenko not that. Lomachenko really good. Like I say, but it's a different animal. Like I say, he ain't fought you yet. He ain't fought you yet. Lomachenko got, he's
Smaller. He's a smaller man.
and he's more like of a pity pat puncher. Keyshawn is, got heavier hands. I feel like, so and he's a little bit meaner in there.
Better
Keyshawn's
intention.
Lomachenko kind of likes to kind of like play around a little bit. He's like not necessarily playing, but you know what I'm trying to say. He like to be a showman in that way. Keyshawn going there to hurt you and fuck you up. So excuse my language. So just he haven't fought him yet. I wouldn't say, of course, with high level guys like Teofimo Lopez with a great boxing ability and athleticism, yeah, you wouldn't put Keyshawn right up there yet. But he's one of the best for sure. He's in that class. I would say that up to this point, he's up. He's in that class.
So you could put Keyshawn over Lomachenko like that.
No, no, I wouldn't say I'm putting him over him, but I wouldn't say I'm putting him under him neither. I would put him next to him.
But they're in the same class.
Yeah.
Are they? Because obviously that was like a different class. This was a class before Shakur was a silver medalist, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, of course it was.
I'm saying as a fighter,
Yeah.
the class of fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Keyshawn is like if they say the eye test, he passed it. He got the eye test. He passed it. Keyshawn bad. Great timing, great speed, great countering ability. Good jab, mean. Like I said, even Timothy Bradley said he could be like a next Bud Crawford. That ain't just no. You getting that from Timothy Bradley.
Right.
They say this guy could be next to Bud Crawford if he get his mental right. So in
Well,
that case,
well, that being said, Bernie, the mental state of mind, obviously changing camps and stuff like that, he's saying all the right things that people want to hear from him as far as, he feels like it's a family over there and, they're working hard. I mean, I'm sure they were working really hard with you guys as well, but obviously there's some type of difference in this fight. I know you probably get motivation working side by side with Shakur Stevenson, obviously, but yeah, like what do you when you look at the mental state of mind coming into this fight, even listening to Jermaine Ortiz saying, you didn't have no choices. You had to take this fight anyway. But also Keyshawn Davis very happy to be on the Shakur Stevenson card.
um, so I would say Keyshawn is a hard worker. I seen him, so I know he likes to push himself. He works really hard. Um, and these guys ain't new. He's worked with these guys before. He's worked with Coach Ron. He's worked around these guys before. And I think I wouldn't say that. I think he's motivated by working along with Shakur is great too, but I think Keyshawn has an inflated ego on his own. He believes a lot in himself and he sees a lot in himself, and this is a way to get back. So I
But you
think
got
he's
to see how the viewers are looking at it. You were working with the pound for pound Terrence Crawford.
yeah,
And then we
you
know
know,
that you have a relationship with Shakur Stevenson since y'all been young.
yeah.
So how
Well,
how
see,
how a fan is looking at it is like, I would think that the what the BNB is doing right now is elite. It's on the top level. Not saying that Wally Moses and Shakur ain't. I think they're both on the top level. But yeah,
well, I don't want to get too much, and I don't want to say too much in that instance. But I know when you with B&B, the regime, the regimen is very tough. It's very tough. It's very tough. They put you through the paces to make sure that you're absolutely ready, 110% when you step into the ring. Regardless of your talent. So, um, like we just gotta see. That'll be the. No, we just gotta see. We just gotta see. But the boxing ability is there. The boxing ability is there, and I think I say a good fighter is a happy fighter. So if he's happy and he's feeling good, I think he should come out well.
but in all right, in the same token, we got Steve Main. Thank you for the two-piece. I thought we don't go off of the eye test. If so, Boots is number one.
Well, like I'm saying, well, we only thing we mentioned we seen Keyshawn fall apart for is outside of the ring. He got emotional outside of the ring and did the little episode. So that's what I'm saying. He hasn't looked mentally unstable inside of the ring yet. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's not about so going into this camp. He seems happy. He's happy with all the coaches that he's working with. He's happy with everything that's going on with him. So I wouldn't I'm placing him to do really well. Like I say, he has good coaches as well. The only thing that I would say that differs, that I could slightly say that might differ, is the work ethic. Is the workload. Let me say that the workload, not the work ethic, but the workload. So if you've been in a B&B camp, then you know how we get down. So a lot of guys can't take the heat. You know, and so I don't know. I don't know if he.
Yeah, great coaches don't play around. There's the door. If you don't want to do what you got to supposed to do.
Yeah, and this is the only way we know is this way. It's the only way we know. To make sure that you're 110% ready. No yes man on the B&B crew. You know what I'm saying? Not afraid to tell you the truth to your face and not afraid to stand up to you, and hold a mirror up to you. So um, I think that's probably the only thing that'll be facing Keyshawn is that if he has too many yes men with him. That'll be the only thing that's facing him. Is he gets to do whatever he wants instead of what they tell him to do.
And also, with that being said, the layoff. Jermaine Ortiz has been active. I think back-to-back KOs. Not with not some of the biggest names in the game, but yeah, the activity and leading up to this mental state, changing the teams and all that. I mean, what do you think about that?
Keyshawn is a fighter. He young. I don't think he's gonna have no trouble. Uh, I don't
No
think.
rust.
No, no. No.
Too young. Too young.
And then look at the guys in sparring. He in there with Ray Savage. He in there with Shakur Stevenson. He in there with what's the other kid's name? What's Zay? You know what I'm saying?
But these are smaller guys than Jermaine Ortiz. Wouldn't you have to say? Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely,
Little-
absolutely.
Smaller guys, but
Every single one that you just named right now is smaller than Jermaine Ortiz.
yeah, but Jermaine Ortiz ain't that big of a guy.
He's saying that he's bigger. He's saying that he's bigger than Keyshawn. And if that's the case, Keyshawn has always been the bigger guy in the ring. This would be a difference January 31st.
Man. But Jermaine Ortiz don't put he like he fought a good fight with Loma. He didn't want to press the gas with Tino. And I think Keyshawn is more his punches come at a higher velocity, faster velocity than and a little bit more power than T.O. I think at this point.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they're coming in faster than Tio?
I
And,
think so.
mm,
Teofimo throws. You see where Keyshawn get down, man. Keyshawn gonna be riding, loading up them hooks on him. He gonna be doubling up them.
the combinations of
Yes,
Keyshawn are make the difference
yes,
between him and Shakur. And
yeah.
obviously the punch placement more
Well,
responsible.
him and Tio, him and
Shakur and Tio, correct.
yeah, him and Tio.
Okay.
So like I said, Jermaine Ortiz fought Tio already. Keyshawn Davis is not Tio. He's coming with them guns blazing when he lets him go. So and Jermaine Ortiz didn't want to mix it up. You know what I'm saying? As he finds himself mixing up with Keyshawn, he gonna have to be at a disadvantage in speed. And I think he's gonna be at a disadvantage with the power as well. Because
Mm.
you gotta understand, Keyshawn been a bigger guy. Now he's at a higher weight. He's happier, he's stronger, you know. So it's gonna be a good fight. Jermaine Ortiz said never disappointed as far as the way of giving a good account of himself. And it's gonna be a great fight. It's a great fight for Keyshawn to get back. Like I said, I would put it almost on the same par as De Los Santos. De Los Santos was said he just had a harder punch. De Los Santos was known as a harder puncher. But far as giving a good account of himself, and they think they about right in the same mode. De Los Santos. Except this guy had more experience. He fought T.O. and he fought Lomachenko. So good fight. Great fight. Can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. We're almost 2 weeks out.
Well, how about this? How about the technical aspect? He calls himself the technician. Has Keyshawn even been in the level of opposition as a Jermaine Ortiz when it comes down to IQ? If you look at it, the kid is he got it. He's very well rounded.
But like I say, if you've been sparring Shakur Stevenson all your life, a lot, those guys are real technical too. Ray Savage, they all, because at the same time, Keyshawn, they're working on sharpening up their tools. He's not just mowing these guys down and overpowering them with his power. They're using their wits in there as well. So I don't think he's going to have no trouble with that. I think it's not going to have no trouble. Not going to have no trouble. Jermaine Ortiz is just it's a good fight. You got to see it. Nobody know who's going to win to the bell ring. So I'm excited for the fight. I would favor Keyshawn just like most, but I wouldn't rule out Jermaine Ortiz winning or causing it to be an ugly fight to where it could be a draw or an ugly decision, a close decision win for Keyshawn.
Do you think mixing up the sparring with maybe some of bigger guys that are not 130 pounds, because Jermaine was a big 135, now more established at 40. Do you feel like that would make a difference in the sparring at all?
But listen, you got to think about too how much these guys are losing weight to get to these weights. You know, they're staying there at their higher weight through the camp. They only probably coming down like the week before camp to where they're not. You know what I'm saying? So they maintain a healthier weight, or they're more closer to their average weight up until about 5 weeks. So they not. You know what I'm saying? Ray Savage probably walk around at 150s, some 150. Of course, Stevenson probably walk around about 150. Maybe could be a little bit more than that. Zay probably not so much, but we talking about the top notch guys. And I'm sure they're mixing it up with different guys that I wouldn't know who they are. But I seen Keyshawn spar Troy Isley, you know. So like I say, I don't think that's gonna be a factor.
Hmm. Getting into these super chats here, Steve. Appreciate the two piece. You think Shakur and Gary, or no? What you think about Shakur and Gary or Keyshawn and Gary?
Antoine Russell, right?
Absolutely.
Good fights. These guys, they all pick 'em fights. There's no conclusive winner in none of these fights. They all just good fights, and let the best man win. That's it. We just want to see the matchups happen. That's all I can say. Just want to see the matchups happen. Styles make fights. We know that. It's a cliche in boxing, and it's true. One guy could beat this guy, and the guy that it's like with Shane and Vernon. He couldn't beat Vernon, but Mayorga beat him. Then he beat Mayorga. This guy just like I say, Styles make fights. Gary Russell with the young, he's been in with a good guy like Quail. He's been in with some veterans like a Postal. He's coming to his own. He had a great fight against Ryo, and now he's about to make a title defense against a guy you said the tall, rangy southpaw. So
Andy
let
Roca.
yeah, let's just see him. Let's just see
I,
him get in there. You
I
know,
like it.
Shakur is a, cause Shakur is perceived to be undersized. You know, so that might. But Shakur he fights bigger. He spars bigger guys all the time. So then with his IQ, like the other guy said, his intelligence, he makes a good fight for anyway. He can go from 30 to 40. Ain't good to be Shakur Stevenson. So we never know what's gonna happen in the fight until they fight him. Well, let's just see. We don't even know. I want to don't want to rush Shakur too much. Let's see how he does at 40. Let's see if he becomes the champion, and let's see what he does after that fact. Because he said he's going down to 135. So let's just go around that fact. We looking at Keyshawn to see if he can beat Jermaine Ortiz, and he becomes a factor because it's not. He don't necessarily have to fight for the WBO because he's number one in the WBO. Him and Russell can get it in. Him and Playo can get it in. Or him and Dalton Smith can get it in. So just never know.
Yep. HLD, thank you for the cincos. Keyshawn said he learned everything he could ever learn from Team Bomac, Bud, and Bernie. Question: Bernie, was Keyshawn just too soft mentally for the BMB team?
Mm, Tucson mixing. I don't know. Like I say, when I heard him say things like, because he just did another show. He did another thing on
With the Versace?
no, was it Roy Jones and
Yeah, he did that one. Yep.
yeah. So he just did a second one, right?
He did the one with the Versace podcast.
With
Yeah.
Roy Jones and everything.
I seen
Like
both.
some things on there I didn't agree with. I won't go into them.
You can't?
Yeah, but a lot of those things I didn't agree with. First of all, like I said, he said he was drinking. I didn't ever get the inclination that he was drinking. I never heard that in my life. I didn't even know that he drink for real. So I
Yeah, when
didn't.
we heard that, that was tough because, yeah.
And when he says he's going through things mentally, I don't know what he means by those things. For real, I've never heard like one thing where it was like there's no explanation about the mental. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you really facing? What are you going through? What is bothering you so much to where you feel like you mentioned it because you're mentally out of it? Because, like I said, the training camps were well. He was, you know, if he training camps were well, he worked hard, he trained hard, he sparred pretty good. He had some good sparring partners. And they gave him good work. And we had some episodes in the sparring sessions, but I thought overall he was ready. I didn't see the mental thing affecting him or what they would say mental. So it was the furthest thing from my mind, even though I've heard he had mental issues. Actually, when I talked to him, the only mental issue that I heard him say was that he lost his grandfather. And that was years ago, and that kind of like messed with his head.
So you
Uh,
didn't hear about his friend passing away?
no. When does his friend pass away?
Yeah, he mentioned that his friend
What,
passed away.
when?
I don't know if it was the before the fight in Virginia with Edwin, I believe.
See, like I'm saying,
Or it could have been the Lemos fight. He said he's been dealing with it for a while. He said he's been dealing with it since the Lemos fight.
yeah, but like I said, I didn't see no signs of that. I don't think none of us could have seen no signs of that in the preparing to the De Los Santos fight. I don't know that. Maybe in the fight before that, in the camp before that, the guys might have had to counsel him about some things which I wasn't privy to and didn't hear anything about. But I know for the De Los Santos fight, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary for that fight. And like I said, he said he was drinking so much that's why he couldn't make the weight. And I never even heard that he drunk. I didn't never seen him take a drink. I never heard that he drink or nothing. And to drink every day during a training camp the way we put him in is crazy. I don't know how he was able to sustain himself, you know, for that time. And if I'm being honest, he wasn't 4 pounds overweight at first. He wasn't. So,
Well, that's news.
uh, you know, he decided that it wasn't a thing he wanted to. He decided he wasn't going to make the weight. So I don't know what that was a decision on him. Like I said, he basically said that. He couldn't make the weight. He said in another interview, he said, I couldn't make the weight. He said that even when he was after the De Los Santos fight. He said it, I just didn't want to do it. So it was basically on him. He didn't want to make the weight. But whether he blamed it on drinking, whether he blamed it on the mental aspect of things, he just didn't want to make the weight. And that might be a mental lapse that he has because as a champion, that's your job and as a professional, And Bud alluded to the same thing. Sometimes he was barely couldn't even walk, and to get on the scale when he was making 135 and maybe 140 and things like that. So but everybody handles things different. I don't know. Like I say, as far as the drinking part, I didn't see it. He's at a healthier weight now. I hope he's in a better space. I wish him the best, and that's all I can say about that.
Yeah. Um. Thank you for the two piece. Everyone in 135 and 140 ducking Gary Russell. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think people are ducking Russell?
Duncan Russell.
Yeah.
Uh, well, you don't never hear nobody just like I want Russell. But again, he just became a champion. He just now won the championship. So you know, it's not really no. He's probably like what I would say high risk, low reward.
Mm.
Which I don't understand because his skill set and his pedigree. You got to be credited by beating Gary Russell. But I don't see nobody calling him out like that. You don't see nobody really calling nobody out for real. Like they just really want the good work. They might call out the guy like a tank guy for the money because they know it's gonna bring money and the fame. It's gonna bring more eyes on you. But as far as your solid work, you don't really see that with nobody for real. You don't really see that. Not that I can think of. Not that I can name. You don't really see that.
Were you able to see the interview with Chris Maddox and Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, the zone face off in the round table?
Go ahead. You said what now?
Where you didn't see the interview with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez with Chris
Oh,
Maddox?
I started to watch that a little bit, but it looked like that already had happened because I think Shakur had that same jacket on.
For sure.
So, so it looked
I
like
hate I hate that they do that. They should just drop it and get new content. Just do new
yeah,
content.
yeah. So I didn't really watch it. Once I seen Shakur in that same jacket, I didn't, because nothing, no time had lapsed. It's like they was all doing it in the same time, So their mind frames is still the same. They don't have no time to rethink nothing or to reevaluate things. So I didn't really watch it, but um, like I say, those guys are both ready to go. I'm excited for the fight. It's these two guys in their prime. You know, maybe Shakur is approaching his prime. Teofimo is in his prime, and it's gonna be a hell of a fight. I just can't wait to see it as a boxing fan. I can't wait to turn on the TV and watch all the fights. Actually,
Absolutely. Steve May, thank you for the two piece. Shakur, Devin, Keyshawn, Teo Ryan waiting on Boots to move up to 154, and hands down, no one in 154 and down can beat Boots. Boots by knockout.
Boots already at 154, so what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. But yeah, so that face off was very interesting. You know, it seems like Teal plays a lot of mind games, and I think that that was cool. But in the same time, we got to listen to Shakur say certain things in there that kind of brought the media's attention. And one of them was, when they were talking about the when they were gonna meet, they felt like they were gonna meet later on in their career. Um, Tia was talking about the amateurs or how good Shakur was from like 114 to like I forget what number it was. But he emphasized that, when I was at 140, you was at 130. You know, now that we here, Shakur says to him, you know, now that you see me, I'm a lot bigger than what you thought, right?
Yeah, I heard him say that. Yeah.
Then he said that in the same token, we felt like, you capitalized off of the fact that Loma was smaller than you. Big factors into the fight. Teal answers, skills pay the bills, size doesn't win fights. He says he agrees. Lots of people took at it as like, hey, listen, all this talk about size, why you're not, talking about fighting Devin Haney? Why with that when it comes to Devin Haney, the size matters and stuff like that. So a lot of people are taking that interview and they're putting like a lot of information out. But what's your thoughts on the whole situation on the size and Shakur Stevenson? Kind of like letting Teal know that I'm just as big as you, maybe even bigger.
Well, Lomachenko probably was really a 30 pounder. He really wasn't a 35 pounder.
Fought
But
in 135. Yeah, you're right.
but I don't think it was T.O. size that won him that fight. I think it was he was sharp as a razor, and Lomachenko didn't want to get caught cold. He didn't want to get caught cold. That's why he didn't throw no punches. He didn't have his timing down. He didn't have his range down to attack.
The
So after the
power.
seventh round, yeah, he definitely didn't want to run into that. And the way that guy was looking before that, and the way he looked in that fight, he was sharp. He was like not in awe of Lomachenko at all. He was not in awe of Lomachenko at all. You know what I mean? So that's what kept Loma on the back foot. And then when he knew he had to make a stand, he did a stand and the fight became a good fight. But I think it was Tio, his sharpness that kept him, not his size. Because Tio really wasn't even throwing no punch. He was just throwing enough punches just to kind of get him to open up. But he really wasn't throwing that many punches. It's just presence. And like I say, like he was coiled like a snake. You make one mistake, boy, this hook gonna knock you dead. And Lomachenko didn't want to go through that. So I think that's what it was. And but you see how Lomachenko, when he came alive, the fight was better. And then Tio still fought on even terms with him. So it just, but you gotta say things to try to get into your opponent's head to make them doubt themselves as well. Like I say, it's psychological warfare at the same time. So I don't want either one of them for playing the games. We can't take anything that they say as word as like to heart. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna try to find a way to see something, that the others don't see because what I'm saying, you're trying to try to outwit your opponent, even before you get in the ring. So I'm just waiting on the fight. I just can't wait to see the fight. I want to see if Shakur wins. How does he win? Because I think that's going to be the one factor about it. It's like, can he dominate Tito? Can he do it? Can he? The fashion that he win is to be a close decision. Can he dominate him? If so, could he ever catch him in trouble and get him and stop him? Get the referee to pull him off of him. So it's just can Tio do the same thing? Man, it's a great fight.
Interesting.
It's the best fight. It's one of the best fights outside of Tank and Shakur. This is the best fight. This like the highest level fight outside of Tank and Shakur. This was the next best thing for Shakur. This is it right here. So stay a lot of intrigue.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I actually got Gary Russell, Antoine. He's ready to jump on back on again, Bernie. So
Cool.
Antoine, the WBA champion.
Yeah. Shout
He's
out to him. Like I said, you know, send my regards to him. I like the way he carry himself as a fighter.
he's
I like
watching right now.
I like the way he fights, and like I say, I just like everything about him. I love the way he carry himself for real. And like I was listening to him earlier, like you say, when you in a fight with Gary Russell, you got to bring everything you got to beat Gary Russell. So I'm excited for him. The division, he adds a lot of flavor to the 140-pound division. And, like I say, nobody's barking up a tree to fight Gary Antuanne Russell. But I think with his name and his reputation and his fighting ability and him holding the championship, he's going to get some of those big fights. And I think if you ever, uh, the guy that, you know, that can get him can win and win convincingly, get a lot of kudos. But Russell definitely, I want to see him in with the guys, and I want to see who emerges in that 140-pound division because, like I said, it's a toss up right now. It's a toss up right now, and like I say, with Shakur Stevenson going back down to 100, if he wins, but with the guys, the Richard Hicksons, the Pueyos, the Matias, the Dalton Smiths, the Gary Antoine Russells. They all some good fighters, and I like to see that. So shout out to Gary Antoine Russell. Much success, continued success, and I love to hear him talk. I love the way he break down things and the way he carry himself. So shout out to Gary Antoine Russell.
My guy. Last super chat here. Why the hell Keyshawn calling out Devin?
Because you have to get something to get people talking. You gotta get people something to talk about, and they had a little feud. I think it'll be a good fight. It'll be a good fight. Devin is big as hell. He's like, man, he blew up like a balloon, man. He's huge. Keyshawn, he's not that big. Keyshawn's not that big. He's a slender guy. Devin looked like almost like a bodybuilder right there. You know what I mean? But it's a good fight. Why not call him out? Why not call him out? I think Keyshawn probably walk around at about 150 for real. Like he not no 60 pounder. He don't get up to no 170 or nothing like that. He probably walk around about 160. So, and then when you got a target on your back or you demand the beat, which Devin Haney is becoming a beat, they're gonna get those call outs. You know what I'm saying? You don't see nobody calling Keyshawn out. Nobody wanted with Keyshawn. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Man, Keyshawn, man, also it hurts my heart to say, like I'm saying. Keyshawn, if he would have beat De Los Santos, nobody was calling for Keyshawn.
Hmm.
Nobody. This is almost like Anton Russell. Everybody ready to go the other way. They want to fight on Keyshawn. But like I say, Devin is still tough fighter. So he's more like he's becoming to the guy like that everybody wants to beat now, somehow, some way. So of course they're going to be gunning for you. Your name that went bigger than most. Like I said, Keyshawn dropped the ball with De Los Santos. Shakur Stevenson is going to raise his name when he fights this kid. Antoine Russell is going to be able to raise his name when he gets a shot at either one of the winners of these guys. And so right now, Devin Haney, his name is at the top right now. You got Tank and Limbo. So right now, it's really Devin Haney for real. If I'm lying, Mills, I'm lying right now, telling the truth right now. If I don't, however you slice it, Devin Haney right now is the man to beat. So why not call out the man to beat? Okay. Shout out to Devin Haney.
Right, right. Well, Bernie, I appreciate you for tapping in. I'm gonna get Russell on here right now.
All right, later, Mill.
Thank you, brother. Salute. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We have the champ jumping on right now. Salute to everybody in the chat. We got what, 250 people. Smash that like button. It's free, man. It's free. Stop doing me dirty. Great Saturday. Really appreciate you guys for tapping in, man. We're going to continue this boxing talk. Salute to everybody that sent the donations. Also, become a member of Mill City Boxing. You can watch all the episodes right here, right away. You don't need to wait. We got the champ right here as well. Salute to the champ in the building.
Julio, active Julio.
What's
You
going
get
on,
me?
man? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. All
You
right.
good?
Back in business,
We
man.
back in
Back
business,
in
man.
business. All right, let's get right to it then.
Yeah, so yeah, I was actually talking to Bernie. We were talking about your fight, with Andy O'Rourke. Everybody really getting excited. Um, Once again, people continue to keep saying that everyone's avoiding you in the division, and your division is really hot. We just finished talking about that, and You know, what do you think about this fight also coming up January 31st with Keyshawn Davis and Jermaine Ortiz?
Uh, that's another
Keyshawn
good.
coming up to 140.
That's another good fight. I know. I know. I know. That's why I said 140 is the best division right now. The most smoking hot division there is right now. Not no cruiserweight, no heavyweight, no lightweight. What look, welterweight is where it's at right now. That fight is definitely gonna be turned up. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's gonna be turned up. Keyshawn, everybody know how Keyshawn fight. He's similar to Shakur, but I feel like he got more tenacity with him. He more mean, more rugged. You know, he take more risk. Now, this guy that he's fighting, I feel like he's gonna try his best to be responsible, but at the same time, he's gonna try to impose his will, whereas though he's letting Keyshawn know that I'm here to fight too. He's not just about to lay down and roll over for Keyshawn. You know, he's in a good position. He can upset everybody. You know, and you just never know. You just never know. But I got Keyshawn winning.
Yeah,
It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight. Good, juicy fight. Good that Keyshawn is actually getting his feet wet at 140, letting it be known. He got to make a statement.
100%.
I feel like styles make fights, and this is about to be a good matchup. It is a good matchup. You know what I mean? Um, it could take him in deep waters, you know, but I feel like this guy gonna run from Keyshawn.
Mm,
He's gonna get on his dance, you know, and sell some feints, you know, and try to keep the fight in the middle of the ring. He's not gonna just walk at Keyshawn and make it feel like Keyshawn is a littler guy because he's moving up in weight. It don't matter. Styles make fights and skills pay the bills. Keyshawn got skills and he go in there and play those type of games with Keyshawn. Keyshawn gonna make an example out of him. He gonna turn him. He gonna hit him with some shots and make old boy respect him. Fuck around, hurt him, put him on his back pockets. You know what I mean? So he ain't gonna get reckless. But I do feel like he gonna keep the fight in the middle of the ring.
right, right. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. I see everyone in the comments. Really appreciate you guys. He probably just got a call. They be doing me like that. Gary, I'm from Louisiana. Salute you, one of one. Big sure. Big facts on that one. Definitely one on one. At this point, it's the service. Oh, okay. His service is, he says the service is killing it. It keep cutting off. Really? Whoa. Damn. Damn. He said that the service is bad. Salute to everybody in the live though. 250 on here. Let's hit the like button. Let's get to 200 likes. Let me just put them on. Let's do it, IG. The fans can't hear you. Okay, we got not giving Ortiz enough credit. He can pull it off. Absolutely. Definitely a great fight. I'm gonna get the call-ins right now. Salute, salute. Gary needs to make his Wi-Fi his mandatory next. Yo, that's funny as hell. I would have texted him that HLD. Jump on, matter of fact. Because you at least been tuning in. Anybody that wants to tune in, anybody that wants to tap in on the live call in right here, you guys can call in. Um, salute to Bernie, salute to everybody that has also been trying to tap in. Um, so yeah, not giving Ortiz enough credit, and he can pull it off. Absolutely, absolutely. It's a great fight. Call-ins are now available. What's going on, kid? Kid, I like what you doing over there, my boy. Shout out to Floyd Schofield. I'm listening to you. I've been watching your stories, my brother. I've been watching you. I've been seeing what you've been putting down. I need to get you and Lucas Body on a live together and hype this boxing world up right now. This is what we need to do, Lucas. And you, Lucas Body, Kip, Floyd Schofield for that WBA title. Talk to me, people. Talk to me. Salute, salute. Appreciate the donations as well, man. Yeah, my brother's Wi-Fi be tripping, but it is what it is. We're live on Instagram as well, guys. If you guys want to call in, become a member of the channel. The link is in the comments pinned down. Salute to everybody as well. And we'll talk about that Gary Russell Wi-Fi when I talk to him. But appreciate the time that he has given us as well, man, because, he's in training camp getting ready for this fight, February 21st against Andy Aroka. Real deal guy, you know what I mean? So, once again, guys, we're live on Instagram. If you guys want to call in, I'm going to give people the opportunity. Also, we've had a couple of people that wanted to tap in with me. Salute, HLD in the house. What's going on?
¿Qué fue? ¿Qué fue? ¿Qué es lo que hay?
What's going on, man?
Yo, man, that was some interesting insight from Bernie about Keyshawn.
Oh, I knew you was gonna like it. Bernie the boxer kept it 100.
He did, and I read it. I read all the BS out of Keyshawn when he was.
You came in there.
BS.
You came in there with the questions. I said HLD caught into it. He smelled something.
You know it was fake, bro. Everybody knows he was doing that WWE thing. You can't believe a damn word that comes out of his mouth, bro. It's as simple as that. Just judge him on what he does in the ring, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Drinking all this stuff, bro. They even better like drinking. What? The motherfucker don't be like that. Anyway, man. But he said it's the work ethic, bro. These kids nowadays, they're not about that life, bro. They say they are, but they not. They go to camp for fat. They go to camp and it's really conditioning and shit, and it's not like trying to take it to that next level, man. They're not about that. That's what Bernie is saying. Basically, it's what he's saying, bro. Yo, man, you wanna hang with the big dogs, you gotta put in the big dog work. All the alphas of any sport in the world, bro. If you're not gonna participate on our level, get the fuck out of our camp. Simple as that. That'll be Michael Jordan, that'll be Muhammad Ali, that'll be Kobe Bryant. Nah, motherfucker, you're not big boy enough to wear my shoes. Take them off, bro. Take them off.
Huépate.
And that's what that's why you have to change his team, because they're not going to kiss his ass, especially when you got Bud in the damn thing working harder than anybody else. They don't want that.
You got to keep up with that pace.
Papa, you want to be king. You got to play the right way, man. So I see that. I can see that 100 miles away. That's why Keyshawn didn't want to be in that camp.
And it makes the fight just that much more interesting, because it makes you feel like, did he leave because he'll be able to do more, he'll have more say, in the other camp, they maybe give him a little bit more leeway. Maybe that could be the case. You never know. You never know what it could be,
I'm watching his videos both on either Shakur's or Keyshawn's own YouTube channel. Man, I see a lot of fake confidence, bro. A lot of fake confidence.
Fake confidence. How so? How so?
Exaggerated, bro.
Talk to me.
Exaggerated confidence, bro. That's all. All this God thing, and hey, man, it's beautiful when you reach that solution with.
So you're not believing in him in those words?
No, man, because I think when you find that personal relationship with your maker, it's personal. It's something that's between you and him, and it's not using it for publicity. You don't use it as publicity. Maybe once you've been one-on-one with the maker for a long time, and I'm talking about years on the line, then you can talk about it like you're someone who. But right now, bro, I think it's all publicity, bro. Same thing with the drinking shit. I don't believe none of that. I don't believe none of that. I think he's just using anything, everything to try to tap into the game of all the soft motherfuckers out there nowadays, bro, that believe in all that bullshit. I mean, this new generation ain't built like that, man. I'm sorry to say, they not.
You
They
know,
not.
with it's funny you say that because it brings back memories of the Breakfast Club, that when they had Shakur Stevenson up there and Keyshawn Davis was in the couch in the back, right? Because they were just talking about Teal's fight, and they mentioned about the bananas in the room, and they asked Shakur that question, and Shakur looked this way. He looked straight to Keyshawn. He didn't say nothing. He just looked to Keyshawn. How I took that was, you tried to sell that, and Shakur didn't want to say nothing, but he gave it away by looking over there. Like, I'm like,
Hey, when that shit all happened, you
and
remember when
Teal,
Bernie was on your
embraced
channel.
it. You know.
Bernie, no, but Bernie was on your channel, and I put that super chat on Bernie. I told him, yo, you know that they got the guy on film. And they know it was Keyshawn T who
Good
set this up.
promo.
Remember?
Good
Right? It
promo.
was a promo thing. And what did Bernie do? Bernie froze, bro. Bernie froze on that super chat. Like,
Good.
calladito, bro.
Good promo, but then other people would say, "Yo, that's horrible promo," because people shunned, Teofimo Lopez for doing some of those types of promo,
No. You
coming out.
gotta listen to what I'm saying.
Talk to me.
I basically told them, even on that Breakfast Club, people were saying that you guys did it. You guys yourself sent yourself the bananas and watermelon box. He called them out on that. Same way I called out Bernie on it, that, hey, we know that it was Team Keyshawn who sent themselves those things. That's what Shakur looked back on them, and they get like, oh, they try to swerve around that because they knew that the truth is out. That's why I said it. Hey, they were saying that you guys sent it to yourselves for promotion. He said, yeah, that don't callao, and they freaked out. That's why they swerved from even talking about it. I know, man. He'll do anything and everything for the promotion. I get it. That's the boxing game. But I see a lot of fake confidence being sold right now. I see a lot of WWE type of stuff. That's what I'm saying. I'm seeing some Hulk Hogan, Randy Macho's Man
Tio's
Savage.
very focused though. I noticed that. I'm not saying that Shakur ain't. I think Shakur is too. I think when guys like Shakur and Tio lock in for a fight at this magnitude, they're gonna show up.
I think that they both are. Tio's been more on the downside of the social media stuff from what he normally is. He's really dialed into it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when you look at what I think even Tim Bentley was mentioning in one of his videos, and he's like, bro, he's doing a lot of new stuff. Shakur, he's doing a lot of new stuff, new team, new surroundings, and I didn't like that.
And shout out to Gary Antuanne, man. He always gives out great intel and things and breakdowns, and he even said with this fight with Jermaine Ortiz, he's getting his feet wet in his career, and this is where it's at. So salute to Gary Antoine, because he keeps it a buck, and he's always enjoyable. You know what I mean? I got my man Nuke in the building, well connected. He's like family with Antoine. And what's going on, Nuke? How you doing?
What's up, Billy? What's up, man?
You got to come in different. Amelie. Come on. Talk to me, my brother. We in the building. Salute to everybody on the live. We got over 200 people on the YouTube. Smash that like button. Another thing though, right? It's the truth though. Yeah, maybe the lighter guys like the Ray Savages, the Zay Quins, they might be sharper. Shakur might be sharper than Jermaine. All those guys that might have a little bit more speed on them. But what about that pop? You know what I mean? Like that real weight that Jermaine got. You know what I mean? Do you think he gonna need some rough sparring like that? Willie
Was good. Was good. He was good. He was good.
got a full panel here. I love it. I love it.
Was good. What's the topic? What we
Come on, man. We here. We talking. We talking everything boxing right now. There's so much to talk about. Right now, you guys can lead the way.
What's the dilly? Well, you know what? Last night I was just kind of recapping was it Teofimo's fight with Jermaine?
Mm-hmm. That's what we were just talking about.
Oh yeah. I was recapping that, but I don't know, man. I think Keyshawn. It could go one or the other way. You know, Keyshawn might steamroll him, or Jermaine might show us that he still got the goods. But I just think that the credibility of Keyshawn beating him is not much because honestly, I think Jermaine's ranked like 23.
Whoa.
So,
Wait a minute. What do you mean? Slow it down there, brother.
You talking about box rec then?
You talking about box rec?
Nah, I thought he was ranked 23. They might have changed it now because he's fighting Keyshawn, but he was ranked 23.
Nah. He was ranked in two sanctioning bodies.
With who though? With who was he ranked 23? I mean, I don't know. You can't say something without backing it up, man. What you mean, bro? I think it was on. I could be wrong, but I thought it was on the CES boxing page. They were showing that he had made.
No. You can't go for that.
You can't go off that, but you got to either go by the sanctioning body or maybe box rec. It's one of the two.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
It could.
You know, once they get fights like these, they change their number anyway. But Jermaine is top 10 in all 4 sanctioning bodies. If anything, there's no way.
No, he has been. He has been.
Look at his recent fights.
Why you said?
Is Swanson on?
No,
he bumped off. He's having some
Wi-Fi
he's having
connection.
out his Wi-Fi as a mandatory.
No, he about to come back on, man. I was just talking to him.
Oh, word?
He on now. He on Instagram. He on Instagram.
He's on Instagram.
That's him right there. Twan, the Don.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tap him in then. So he can come on. He's good on Instagram, but not on he said Jermaine is nobody. So if Keyshawn was to smoke him, that would have weight on hit. I'm gonna get him on.
Hey, Matthias, you saw how Gary Antuanne laughed at you when you mentioned Matthias.
As a matter of fact, HLD, you're the first one coming out. You're the first one coming out.
I know Mills was tight when he saw that defeat right there.
You're the first one coming out. I hope you guys got some good questions for Gary Antuanne Russell. Because he's about to tap. Gary in the house.
What's up with you, fellas?
All right, so we back.
What's up? I want to give a shout out to my man, Will Connected, all day in the paint. You know what I mean?
Big facts. He's loading. You can hear him, right? Nuke?
What's up, man?
There he is.
What it do, Slim? How you feeling?
What's up, Bob?
I'm cool.
DC in the house.
Hey, do you remember Jermaine Ortiz in the amateurs?
Yeah, man. I almost got hold to his ass, but I ain't get him.
You fought him?
Yeah, you fought him in the amateurs.
You beat him? No, I beat him. Yeah. Hold on, this was like in this was the tournament out in Georgia. Yeah, it was the tournament out in Georgia. Yes, sir. I got hold to his ass. But I would like to see him professionally. But first, he gotta get through Keyshawn, and I gotta get through this guy at Andy Oroka. But you know what I'm saying? For y'all to say Keyshawn ain't really gonna have no weight if he was beat this guy, that's a lie. Because he's a sleeper. This dude is a sleeper. He could rumble. He could fight. He can fight.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. You know, I agree that he can fight. I think that's more of the fact that he's come up short multiple times already. So people are expecting that to happen. You know, so
he came up short against people who can fight, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean that's true too. But
Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. Good point.
You know that I'm all about the underdog always, but I gotta wait and see on this one.
I feel you. Me, I'm currently this way. Ass whooping is an ass whooping. No matter who the hell you are, a good fight is a good fight. No matter where the hell you are. You know what I mean? What card you on? If it's a good ass fight, it's a good ass fight. I'm gonna pay my dollar and eat some popcorn watching this shit. I tell you that much. And I believe this shit gonna be a good fight. You know, like I said before, Mill, you said, is he gonna bring up in the weight division now that he's moving up? Is he gonna bring that pop?
That matters. Now that matters heavily. You know what I mean? But I was always groomed on skills pay the bills. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Styles make fights and skills pay the bills. So you can't be strong. Look at me this. You can be strong, but the skills, motherfucker, I would skill your ass. Yeah, he the short end of the stick. You know what I mean? So I say that to say he might not bring up a punching power to the 140 division, but he is bringing skills. He's bringing intellect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that'll hold him over for a little bit. Hey, Sean, give us some of the names that you shared the ring with, that you sparred. Man, everybody damn near, I'm trying to tell you, from Shakur to the Keyshawn to the Oshoki Foster, man, a lot of people, like I said before, when motherfuckers trying to get in shape, they come to our gym. When they really want some real work and want to know where their ass is at, see if they've been excelling, they come to our gym and get some work. If you want some wind down shit, they not gonna come. They don't come over there. Cause you gonna get your foot so deep in your ass, you'll be coughing up some tennis shoes. I'm trying to tell you, they know it. They know it. You know what I mean? But it's all love.
Champ, considering that you've been in the ring with both Jermaine and Keyshawn, right? Do you feel like the fight goes the distance?
I don't think it's gonna go the distance.
Ooh.
I don't think it's gonna go the distance.
So you got Keyshawn stopping Jermaine Ortiz, exactly what Keyshawn is saying in the public right now.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like I said, he fight like Shakur. He just got more tenacity. You feel me? He's aggressive. And Shakur, he's calculated. You know, he don't take no risks. He's gonna take risks. He gonna go get you. Hey, Millie, my man, he called him fights. He was the only one yelling Ryan Garcia was gonna beat Devin.
Oh, I know.
I said, man, you tripping. He said, nah, Ryan gonna beat him up. Almost ended that boy's career. You heard he said, man, he had to go to therapy. Dang. Shit. God damn. I feel you, Slim.
That's crazy.
You fought Boots 3 times in the 4 times in the amateurs, right? Yeah. Do you see a change from the pro Boots to the amateur Boots to the pro Boots? Yeah. Yeah, it's a slight change. It's definitely a change. You know, the fact that he made the transition is good. I give him a pat on the back for that because he still make mistakes, but all fighters do. All fighters do. Even Floyd, he make mistakes and he make sure he go to the drawing board and fix the motherfuckers. Even though he make a mistake doesn't mean that he ain't gonna come out victorious. One of Floyd Mayweather interviews, he said, man, like, it's not about how you win all the time. It's about as long as you. And that's true. And when it comes to Boots, you know, he done settled into this professional world, for the professional fighting, good enough at the weight division that he's comfortable at. He's making a statement and blazing a trail for himself. And he know humbly that he still got some shit that he got to work on. He's got to fix. Rule number 1 is identifying the damn problem. You know, so he's still in the mindset of telling himself that I still have to grow. There's still growth left in me. And he's still young. And he's cooking these dudes, which I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? But he got some more growing to do. He got some of the same problems that he used to have in the amateur, but you rarely see it. I feel like a person got to be a smart ass fighter to really exploit the old habits that's still there. But they got to see it though. Other than that, he gonna do what he want with these dudes. He's too swift. He's slick, crafty. You know what I mean? And he used that to his advantage, and he make it work.
Now that you see, the back and forth about this fight being made, and seeing that, Virgil's going and doing a lawsuit, do you feel like there was any ducking between any of these fighters, or do you feel like it was just straight business?
Hold on. With those fighters and me?
The fighters you're speaking about, Boots and Virgil.
No, I don't think it was no
No, Jackie. I mean, I don't know what they got going in their personal lives, for real. You know, a lot of this stuff can be some he say, she say stuff. I tell people all the time, if you don't hear it from my mouth, man, don't believe that shit. You know what I mean?
Gary, I'm gonna throw you a curveball, bro.
Shout out to Brian Noman Jr., the champ in the building.
I'm a big fan of rematches, and I'm wondering, are you or would you be considering fighting Puerto again to get that get back against him?
Man, for all of that, you could have just been a straight shooter with me. I already told people that don't curveball shit to me. Go straight at me. I already told the public. I said, Slim,
you gotta get
once
him.
Once I got all of these belts, I don't care if Alberto Pollo is forgotten about. I'm calling him out. Why? Because I need to see him again. I have to.
Yeah, that get back's important, man. I think that's something maybe that I feel like haunts Teofimo, because he lost to Cambosis and it's like he completely forgot about it. And I don't know as a fighter how you can do that. You know, just kind of just move on and just leave it to at that.
Man, listen, some people, I can't even say some people. Once you get to a certain point in your professional career, I feel like this is the case. I don't speak for everybody. This is just my viewpoint. When you get to a certain point in your professional career, you gotta brush that shit under the carpet momentarily. You know what I mean? Momentarily. So psychologically, you gotta kind of be like, all right, it's in the past. It happened. I can't get it back. That's the reality of it. I ain't gonna pay that no never mind because I want bigger and better things.
I got you. What you think of Dalton Smith over Matias? His win. Man. And the way that he pretty much dropped and stopped Matias. That was surprising to me too.
It wasn't surprising to me. It wasn't surprising to me. I told everybody, or so you bringing up all the facts that I already threw out there. I'm telling you. Yeah. Listen, Matias, he's strong. He's courageous. He got heart, you know, and he come to fight. A lot of people were scared to fight him. Almost like Andy Uroka. A lot of people sidestep him. They sidestep him. Why? Because they don't want no stiff competition. They want an easy win. The same thing with Matias. People didn't want to fight him because they gonna have to work too hard for a victory. Yeah. Hey, remember when we seen him out Vegas, Twan? Yeah. He was like, he said, man, you was the only one he respected in the division. Only champion that he respected in the division. Yeah, but look, though, I'm like, you said something on the internet, motherfucker. we gotta do an interview for real. Us three, and we gonna tag everybody in this motherfucker so we can get it on. Cause I'm willing to take this fight immediately, but he had something scheduled, so it got pushed back, pushed under the rug, forgotten about. You know what I mean? But ain't nobody tripping. I told everybody that he's a rock soccer. He come to fight. He need to work on his defensive discipline. Other than that, he don't have enough for real. Yeah, catch, and just keep walking forward. An easy target.
Yeah, that's what I think went wrong. He wasn't using any head movement at all, and like Dalton capitalized on the heavy.
Exactly. It wasn't too much capitalizing he had to fucking do. He just had to give him some lateral movement and make sure you're turning your shots over the right way. That's what he did. And I feel like Dalton Smith, Dalton, he's a textbook fighter. He's a textbook fighter from where he's from, period.
You know, obviously, there's a big fight coming up January 31st with Shakur Stevenson and Teal. You know, him moving up in weight. You think you know, they talked a little bit about that in the Max Kellerman interview. You know, when you look at Shakur at 140, do you look at him as a guy potentially that can campaign there officially?
Nah,
Because you've been in the ring. I mean, I think we've seen some sparring clips of you and him.
Man, those sparring clips are so fucking old. That was before the Olympics, man.
Mm.
Come on, man. But hey, if you want to use that, fine. What they don't see is that
behind the scenes, that was like a 13th round. Y'all heard the man in the middle? Yeah. Okay, that's when one person stay in the middle and they just spot everybody that one person stay in while they keep to. That's what that was. That's what I was doing. It wasn't just Shakur there. It was Shakur there. Richard Hitcherson was there. He didn't want to spar. Who else was there? I want to say what? Keyshawn brother was there. Keyshawn Davis' brother was there, but he was just there as a spectator. I was about to spar with Troy Isley.
Isley.
Right.
So you sparred all of them.
Not Keyshawn brother. That was another day.
Okay.
But they was all there. All of them was there. That whole little camp. And there was another gym that was there too. So it was like 2 gyms that came to give us some work. So we was cycling everybody out, but I was the only one that stayed in the middle. I stayed in the middle and I did my rounds. Boom. Did 6. Hopped out. Did 6 more. No, did 7 more straight. 6 hopped out. Did 7 straight. Boom. And the rounds that y'all seen with Shakur was the ass in my last round.
Oh, back end. The back end work.
Yeah, that was the last round. That was the last round. I'm like, all right. And they was doing like 3 hop out or 2 and hop out. 2 and hop. So they was fresh. Ooh, fresh. And it was before the Olympics. Motherfuckers is getting that grown man strength and that beefy body now. Like, come on, bro. But like I said before, still stands. Skills pays the bills. So you can be strong and big. If I'm gonna outskill you, then I'm gonna outskill you. Yeah, we just saw that with Canelo and Terrence, man. Exactly. Put on a crazy work, man. That's my guy too. Yeah, I'm a like, diehard Canelo fan. I ain't even gonna hold you. Canelo and Benavidez. Yeah, Benavidez. Come on. I don't know.
Was that a fight that you ever thought was gonna happen? You and Shakur, knowing that he's fighting Teo, like now that you know that he's fighting Teo for this title, like was that ever in your mind that you guys would see each other at 40?
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't. Honestly, that he was going to campaign at 126. Then he started making moves like Floyd, which is good. He's following the script of a good blueprint. Floyd, he was getting the title with this division, go up to another division, win, unify, get like an interim, line himself up for an official title match at another division. They go back down. And then sweep is 126 division. That's what Floyd was doing. He's going up and down. He swipe the division, go up, campaign a little bit, swipe that division, go back down. You know, and it was all calculated moves. I feel like that's what Shakur is doing. It's a smart thing to do. So if he beat Teofimo Lopez, which I feel like is a 50-50, but if he beat Teofimo Lopez, he would then have one of the straps. Okay. He don't have to stay there. He can move back down and probably
Because he said that he would do that and he would leave that belt for Keyshawn.
Right. That's what I said. They'll probably Keyshawn or probably sweep up somebody. You feel me? God willing, he get through this fight. So how do you think the fight goes? If it let's say if it's Shakur, how do you think Shakur beats him? Or if it's Teo, how do you think Teo wins? Against who? Against each other. You know, there's both perspectives. You know, either one or the other. What, Teo versus Keyshawn or Teo versus Shakur? So if Shakur beats him, how does Shakur win? If Teo beats him, how does Teo? Method of victory for either side. Yeah, method of victory. My bad. Method of victory for Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur. Oh, Shakur. If he beats him. If he beats him, man, listen. He's going to take it to him. He's going to have to take it to him like this last guy that Shakur took it to him. When Shakur had the orange, what's that guy's name?
William Zepeda.
Zepeda. Yeah, thank you. He made him right. Yeah. Now Zepeda made him fight. Now, granted, Shakur, honestly, he made the decision to sit there in the pocket on purpose because people kept throwing some hate on his name. You know what I mean? Saying, "Oh man, you's a chicken. You always run." He's a boxer. That's what he do. He's a boxer. He box you, and he beat you. That's what you're mad about. You want to see me get my head knocked off, bloody eyes. That's what people want to see. That's the mindset Shakur has. He's like, you know what? I choose to move like this because it's efficient boxing, or because y'all want to see me sit there more. I'm gonna sit there more. And he sat there with Zepeda, which is good. Give him a pat on his back for that, because now he showed people, look, I can do both. It's just stupid to do shit this way. Yeah. You know, right, and that fight, he got hit the most he ever got hit. And he still looked good too. Even while he was getting hit, he was still looking very well, boxing wise. Right. It was a good fight. It was still a great fight. You know what I mean? But he's not gonna be able to sit there with Teofimo Lopez like that. Hey, Twan, rank the champions in your division from 1 to 3. Not including yourself. Not including myself. 1 to 3. As far as like skills. Yeah, skills and competition. Like, who you think will be your hardest class to easiest? Okay, 1 to 3. It'll be Teofimo. We don't got that many. We got Dalton. Dalton's there now, but I think Richard is gonna beat Dalton. Yeah, that would be a good fight too. Good styles make fights. Yes, sir. Dalton is short. Richard said he's gonna put the jab on him, move, back up, jab, hit, move, jab, hit. Put him on the rope, put him on a little string. You know what I mean? So you had to go in that order: Teo, Richard, then Dalton. Who do you think? Who do you think's in a more competitive fight? When it comes down to Teofimo Lopez and Shakur, or Keyshawn Davis and Jermaine Ortiz, who do you feel like got a more competitive fight on that card? Shakur. Damn, my boy laughed. My boy laughed. Nuki laughed. Shakur, I'm laughing because it's like, hey, it's the reality. It's the real. It is the real. That was the easy one right there, though, man. Yeah. It is the real, man. I feel like Shakur can pull this shit off, and I feel like Gordo can pull it off too. That's why I said it's a 50-50. But Gordo will have to apply that pressure the right way. He will have to apply that pressure the right way. And he can't be bullshit neither. He got to commit, because Shakur, he's a precision puncher. He's very precise. He got good timing, good eyes. Teofimo Lopez be mad if he just get to hopping in there throwing punches. Shakur be gone before he even get to his ass. Before you know it, he caught your ass. Pip, pop, pop. 3, moved again. Put the jab on you. Pip, pop, pop, pop. Move. You try to hop in, he slide and grab you. Now you mad because you get shit off. It will beat him with smarts, with skills. Shakur can beat Teofimo Lopez with smarts. Now, I feel like Teofimo got more skills than Shakur. But Shakur got a good fine balance between skills and smarts. That shit is leveled out the right way. You feel me? So I feel like when it comes to the game of wits, Shakur get Teofimo Lopez. When it comes to brute style and strength, I feel like Teofimo can get his ass. How close you and Teo, Tom? Man, that's like brother from another mother. That's my guy. I mean, Teo got that athleticism. He throws those weird punches that you kind of like. You see, like Bro Jones throwing the pass, the way he shoots them and stuff. Yeah, those are the type of punches that Shakur might not be able to fully prepare for because they're so random. To a degree, to an extent, though. Only to an extent, because at some point, doing stuff like that can come off as you being reckless. Yep. I can see how you can feel comfortable doing that with someone you already then tenderized. You already been beating on them. You done broke their tendonism. Fight for real. Now you can play with them. Then you go for the kill after you done finish playing with them. But don't play with somebody who you ain't even really beat down yet. It's still early, and you playing. You supposed to be putting rounds in the bank. If you're going to win on scorecards, at least put the rounds in the bank first. Win on the scorecard first. Then when you up by the rounds, that's when you can start toying around and doing all this extra stuff. He's not going to be able to do the same. Yeah, he ain't going to be able to do the same crazy athletic stuff, hit behind the head and behind the back with Shakur. You're not going to be able to do that. But he's super athletic. He can still, like, have a certain level of agility, like Roy Jones did, springy. You know what I mean?
You say that, Twan, and when you say that, we seen an interview with Shakur and Tio, and he said that, I'm gonna do things that for some people might think is illegal, but with Shakur you have to do it. Do you know what he means by that? That southpaw look. I don't know. Is he talking about hitting in the back of like the back? It's still over the like the belt line, but it's the hitting the back. I mean, what do you think he's talking about?
That's a good observation.
Because the shoulder roll and how thin. I was like, is he trying to rock his back?
Line you up for that, right? If Shakur would to hit the shoulder roll, that little Philly tail stuff, turn the shoulder. Yeah, you can still hit back there.
Yeah.
And it make you not want to turn your shoulder so much. And now your defense is no longer the same. So now you're a more hittable target. That's smart. That does make sense. I'm glad you pointed that out. It's like a Canelo.
Because I seen it in like Joseph Adorno and De Los Santos. He outboxed him, but I noticed that he would keep rolling the shoulder, and every time he rolled the shoulder, anything that hit the body hit the back, and he was complaining about it. So depending on the referee, if they're gonna allow it or not, I'm really curious to see that.
Hey, Twan, true or false? Is it true that you stopped a lot of people's favorite fighters?
Nasty word.
True. True.
Favorite?
Hey.
Top. All right. Top level.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now today. I ain't saying no names, man.
Okay.
You know we don't get down like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I say it. I didn't say it. That's why I say it like
that. Yo. Is he champion? That's all I'm gonna ask. That's all I'm gonna ask. That's all I'm gonna ask.
Hey, stop what you doing.
Is he?
Stop what you doing.
All right.
Stop what you doing. Is he champion?
That's it. That's all I wanted to know. That's funny. That's funny. We're gonna get
Oh man.
So that now it seems like it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice to see you February 21st. It's a good card, man.
For sure.
It's a good card. You seen the card itself?
Yeah, I saw the whole card.
What do you think about the main event?
The main event is a good event. What you mean?
Ryan Garcia Barrios.
A great one, yeah. My man get back up in there. Start flying. He been waiting to get in there anyway. He been itching, to be honest. But he can't come bullshitting. I hope he been training because Barrios, he's a good fighter. And if you play around, he'll get you up out of there. He'll get you up out of there. And he's twitchy too. He got good like hand speed, got sharpness to him.
Who would you favor? Who would you favor in that matchup?
I have to go Barrios if he don't get touched. Yeah, I go with Barrios. Because regardless of how many ass whoopings you done took, I feel like Ryan Garcia, that's what I'm talking about for his ass whoopings. He still got pop. You cannot take away nothing that someone possesses in this sport. He still got pop. Barrios can't get touched by that hook. He get touched by that hook. Oh, it's a Dandilio.
Dandilio.
Yeah, it's a done deal. You can wrap that shit up. You can wrap it up. I'm telling you. Because you get him hurt, he going to hop on him. And I see he got a little mean streak, too.
He got a little mean streak, you know.
He's saying he'll get done like they just done Matias.
Ask some questions, goddamn it.
Go ahead, man.
Ask your question, man.
I mean, that was just, What's going on, Gar, man? So are we in full training camp right now, big man?
Man, hell yeah.
Let me ask you something. A little bit with this Harioka guy. Have you seen his tapes? Do you see what he's all about? What his strengths, what his weaknesses are?
Yeah. But like I said before, people tend to change up how they fight based off of who they're fighting. So we can go off with some footage that we got, and that's all we got to go off of. You know what I mean? Other than that, we try to prepare for the unknown and the known.
So in other words, you think that once you put that paint on him, his own game plan is gonna change, just like when Devin Haney dropped Norman Jr. Everything went out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Won't be the first, won't be the last. It happens. But that's what we got to prepare for.
And when it comes to this Shakur and Teofimo, and I know we touched up about it, but I was really hoping, since with the Lopez and the Russells are basically family. I'm surprised that your big brother is not a little bit part of this camp for preparation for Teo to face Shakur, because I think he would have been the perfect guy to train with for against Shakur.
Training wise, that sounds cool. We could have got him in shape. We could have did our aquatics, water training. Got him in shape. Got his eyes right, because a lot of times the fighter got to see what the coaches see. You know what I mean? And that comes in time with preparation, of course. Far as my brother sparring, Teo, is that what you're saying?
Light sparring, just training sparring. I'm not saying going at it doghouse,
All right, well, I'm gonna give you real on that. My brother don't fight like Shakur.
I was about to say that.
My brother don't fight like Shakur. I don't fight like Shakur. It would be stupid to spawn when neither one of us is showing any type of similarities to the opponent that he's fighting. When you get an opponent, you're supposed to get spawn partners that's going to be able to either fight similar to who you're about to fight, or can do or have that just similar, period.
Right, I see the language you're talking about.
So you can prep based off of what you're going up against.
At least have the same abilities.
I think that his brother does have speed, timing, and he's a lefty. That's the way I saw it. You know what I mean?
Timing is different from a style, though.
Yeah.
It's just talking about the abilities that he have in his arsenal, but a style. That's like me fighting Andy Oroka, and I asked for Brian Norman to give me some sparring. That is not going to help me prepare for this style. Brian Norman doesn't fight.
Your brother jump back, leap back. That I do know. What do no funny shit?
You know what I mean? Right. It won't make sense. You're preparing for who you're supposed to fight. So when you get sparring partners, you get sparring partners that can fight like that person, that has the same style as that person you're fighting. So
yeah, he's more of a pop. Yeah, he's more like a pop shooter, and you guys more run up the combinations a lot more. You guys,
right? We more of we bring solutions. That's it. We solution finders.
You gotta let your brother know, man. After that last performance, bro, he's left us thirsty, bro. He's leaving us
border type stuff. Hey, don't trip.
It would have been nice to see the rematch with him and Mark Masayo there. Mark Masayo's on the card, I heard.
Hey, you never know. He might shoot for.
He needs something bigger than that.
Oshaki Foster.
Ooh,
I like that.
Oshaki Foster.
Hey, y'all be able to tell you never know. Never. You just never know.
Oh, you seen them spar? Them two? And your brother?
No comment, man. No comment, man.
No, they're fast. Both of those guys are fast, man. Yo, I had a feeling, brother. I had a feeling. Oh, this shit got me thinking now. Fuck. This shit got me thinking. Yo, shout out to Floyd Schofield on the live, man. He says Russell beats that ass. Pause.
Yes, Lord.
He said lip.
That's right. Shout out Schofield. Stop playing. You know what it is.
Shout out to Floyd Schofield in the building.
Yeah.
I think he like what is he champion in recess right now?
They're talking about it. That's what the WBA president said in one interview.
I believe so.
Yeah, Gilberto said that the committee is really looking into doing that. It's not official yet, but that looks like the path that they're gonna take.
Nice.
Yes, sir. And another thing, they talking about putting tanks 135 joint on recess too.
Right, exactly that.
So you never know, man. I think that's gonna happen.
Man.
If so,
man, I'm telling you, man,
I can represent it well, man. That's it.
We gotta bring T-Pain, man. This T-Pain, that's what.
Brother, what's happening? Let's go, brother.
What's going on,
Let's
Coach? How
go,
are you?
brother. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
All right, man. I'm driving, so I apologize.
Henry Garcia in the house. Shit, man. Nah, man. I'm telling you. I think he's lost some signal, but yeah, man. This is gonna be lit. This is gonna be lit. I seen that the heavyweight actions on the card too, with Richard Torres and Frank Sanchez. Woo.
Yeah. My card, yeah. So look, man.
Yeah, you heard what he said? He said my card.
Shit, I'll take on this shit.
I heard that. I heard that. I peeped it.
Hey, Quan. You can, true or false, you can make 135 if you want to. Yeah. So why you ain't never think about going down and challenge one of them champions so you could be a two division champion?
I thought about it. The reason why is because, like I said before, I wanted to be a man of my word. I got to go, and I ain't want to deviate it. I want to wipe out my division. Once I do that, I go down, go up to 47. I can chase Richard Richardson's. I can chase whoever. I can chase Devin Haney if I want to. I can chase any of these dudes. You feel me?
Hey, God, since you said that, you want to clean out the division. That being the case, they ain't no brothers in when it comes inside the ring, right?
You know, man.
So can we possibly? Let's put it this way: if it comes to it, you and Tio could happen.
Yeah.
That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear.
He know it though. Cause we both we honor this sport. We like public servants. You feel me? We give life back to the community. We inspire people to want to do this stuff. This profession itself, man, it keeps so many things peaceful and keep people out the streets. It's easy to be pulled in the streets. We giving people something that's attached to hope. We giving them hope, something to be.
So when you hear others say that stuff, oh man, that's my boy. I can't touch him.
It's honorable. I can't say that. And that's just brotherly love. I have that feeling as well. But in the same token, it's like a family they going to share their funds together. They going to share the shines together. And they also going to share the battlefield together. Not going to get in the way of our relationship.
So it's a different mentality that we carry over here than what others are carrying.
Exactly. I'm not knocking them for saying, hey, I ain't going to ever fight my brother. That's cool. Because there's nothing wrong with that. But this is about the sport itself too, and the love for the art. Like, come on, it's fun. It's fun to us.
I feel you.
And the journey that we've been on, it kind of keep that spark alive. We went through the Olympics together. Before the Olympics, we went through nationals together. All of that. And it's funny because back when we was talking, me, him, his father, I was like, man, we're gonna wind up seeing each other in the pros. He was like, yeah, but we're gonna whoop everybody's ass first. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny because man was thinking the same thing. We both said the same thing at the same time. I said, we're gonna whoop everybody's ass first. And then he was like, yeah. Look, you make noise on your side, I'll make noise on my side. You know, whoop ass on my side. You get the belts, I get the belts. Then we're gonna fight for the belts. I said, cool.
You know, he posted a picture of you two when you were kids, basically, man. Not too long ago, he posted a picture of you two, man. I'm like, yeah, these guys are brothers from a long time. He even said, even before that, you guys were already brothers. So, I mean, you guys were kids in that picture, man. So, but you know what? I mean, it's great to hear. I just want, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers or anything like that. I just want to put it out there, your philosophy, how you see that, and that, yeah, we could get busy. And we still brothers after that, no matter what. Exactly. But the art is first. Like, I respect that.
Like, and it's honor in that too, you know. Almost like the scene off of Rocky.
I was thinking the same thing. Yo.
You know what I mean? They spawn and stuff, but come on, they doing it for the art of they brother. You done see me get my eye knocked out my head. I done seen you take some ass, but we've been in the gym blood, sweat, and tears together. We share the field. We share all of these moments together, man. Gordo, I call him Gordo, but because I'm talking to y'all, I'm gonna call him Teofimo. And I mean, but I call him Gordo. We don't share moments.
That's cool.
Many, several guys, like I said, brother, from another mother.
But if it must feel some type of way, you know, being able to get money with them too. You know what I mean? Like Zab and Floyd, like, you know, get this big paper.
Right.
Life changing.
And you giving back to the boxing community. You're giving back to the boxing community. You showing honor to the craft. You get money together.
Stories now.
Service, right? You're inspiring people to want to do what you do. To try to be better. You helping people's lives be better.
There's a different mentality. You're thinking more grown than a lot of the other folks in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a different thought process.
You know, a lot of people say, hey, we normally see you fight once a year. This year, what do you think? 2026.
Let me get through this fight, and I guarantee you, y'all gonna see a lot more of me. Y'all gonna see 2026 is about to be a popping, juicy ass year. Y'all might as well call Amazon and pre-order a large load of popcorn because I'm telling you, it's gonna be so many great ass fights this year. It's ridiculous.
Hey, I don't know why people say that when in the last 14 months, this is your third fight.
They just talking just to talk. It's cool. It's all right. I don't pay that no mind. I'm trying to tell you, son. I know what it's about to be though. Watch. Watch. It's about to be popping. Popping.
Shit. Nah, for sure on that. Now I know that you talked about, you know, the 40 division and you saying that, you know, you want to make sure you clear out, but when it comes down to your body, what does the body say? Does the body say that you can, you know, continue to do this for a long time in this weight class?
I mean, I keep up with my body, so I'm good. I mean, I don't got no bruises, no nothing. I just be obedient. That's what people mess up at. They're not obedient enough to maintain.
Oh, okay. So what, you watch what you eat?
Yeah.
All year long, huh?
A man walk around 145.
And seriously though.
Remember that time when Devin Haney tried to say you looked big?
Hey.
And you got on the scale?
Had to hop on the scale on them.
It was 146.
46. They blowing up to 180 damn near, almost 2. How you get that big, my guy?
What you think? How you think he does, bro? How does he do it?
Not giving a fuck. Fuck it. Fuck it. Telling you. That's how.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, Gary, man, I really appreciate your time today, man. It was definitely great speaking with you and seeing what's going on with your training camp. But let everybody know where they can find you, and also let everybody know what they could be expecting February 21st. You against Andy Aroka for this is gonna be your first defense as well as champion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, look, y'all know where to find me on Instagram. Great Antoine Russell, Twan the Don, both pages. Got Twitter. The fight, y'all gonna see some fireworks, man. Another opponent that's out there trying to beat me, trying to take my strap, that's in the way, and I gotta maul them down.
We need some videos of in camp, guard. We need some of that, man. Because last time I seen the video, you and your brother in the gym, bro. Yo, that was some calisthenics, high stuff, shit you guys were up on, man. We need to show these kids what it's about, and I would love to see more of them videos, man, with you and your brother. Yeah, go on Twitter, HLD. Twitter, Gary Antoine.
Appreciate.
I already follow him. I bet some more videos. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, look, I got you. I'm gonna put it out there. Look, y'all stay tuned, man.
Absolutely, man.
Some juicy stuff coming up. I might see y'all at the Shakur fight, and hopefully I see y'all at my fight, man.
Absolutely, I'll be in the building.
Appreciate,
Stay in touch.
appreciate you, my brother. Like always, stay blessed.
Yo.
Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We got the one and only Henry Garcia in the building. Sun shining. Beautiful day on Saturday. What's going on with you?
Oh man, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving this weather, and I'm heading over to San Diego, pick up some gloves, and then I'll be back to LA tomorrow. So sometimes I do stuff like that where I've got to just take care of my son in so many ways, just to make things better in life. That's all.
How's life, man? How's training camp?
Training camp is great, man, and that's the truth. I know some people criticize that, hey, what is he doing in the living room and all that? And I get that, but you know what? It's our base is the gym. I'm just being honest. Our base is the gym. We do practice at a gym because I heard Bob Santos say, hey, maybe.
Right, right. I seen him working out in the kitchen, and there was a chicken in there.
Because Mayweather came out at a press conference with a chicken, the same color and everything. So Ryan wanted to go back into history and do something like that. So these are things people don't realize. What happened in the past. And there's a lot of things that have happened in the past, and I also want to clarify my status as well as his father and his trainer, because a lot of people, whether they do it on purpose or what, they don't really understand what Brian and I went through as in the amateur days or the pros. So I want to clarify that as well.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, Ryan has started at a young age. My brother Sergio gave up his foundation for 2 years, 2 solid years. My brother, I owe him a lot because he gave him the foundation. He started my son as a boxer, and you know it was great in the beginning, but my brother had some personal issues health wise that limited him onto taking him to shows, tournaments, what have you. So I saw that, I recognized that, and I said, well, you know what? I'm going to step in because I was also a boxer in Chicago and along with my brother. But my brother set the tone, and what I did is I improved every aspect of it. And I had Ryan winning 15 national titles. Okay, now people might say, oh, you know what? They're amateurs. No, 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 no. Let me tell you something about amateurs, okay? Amateurs are your most important days of a boxer's life. And I'm going to tell you why. Because who other than amateurs will become pros? They have to. It's like a stepping stone. You know, if you're ranked on one of the top five as an amateur, most likely you're going to see them on TV someday because they went through all the tournaments and the show fights and all that. So people have to understand that it's very important to go through that era as far as amateurs because you're going to have a good idea on how on what to expect. You're going to gain the experience. You're going to win or lose. So don't worry if you lose. Don't worry about that. You know, of course, if you win more, that's better too. But what I'm getting at is that if you win nationals, I'll tell you this much: most likely you're going to become successful as a pro. That's the truth. I'll give you examples: Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis, you know, Lamont Roach, you know, Ryan Garcia, you know, Virgil Ortiz, you know, Bam Bam Rodriguez. I mean, come on, I can go on and on and on. And people don't realize that. See, people don't realize that it takes that success to carry over into the pros. And that's something that needs to be addressed properly. And I'm the best person to talk to about that because I've been there and I'm telling you, and I'm going to tell you right now, very important thing here. If you can win one national, I'm going to shake your hand. You know why? It is not easy to win a national title because you have to go through the district, your whole district. Then you have to go through the state. Then after the state, you have to go through the regionals. And then after the regionals, now you got to go into the nationals. So everybody is knocking everybody out of the tournament. Boom, boom. It's like football right now. A process of elimination. Okay? And if you don't understand that, you're never gonna understand the value of being an amateur. Because an amateur who wins nationals, once again, well, most likely you'll see him on TV as a professional, like Raymond Moratia, right? Bam Bam Rodriguez, you know. And speaking of them, I'm gonna throw this at you, okay? Because I like to defend myself, even though I'm very humble. I do. I'm very humble, and I'm gonna tell you why later on. But you know, when I seen all this happening right in front of me, my son Sean fought Bam Bam Rodriguez. You know, we fought Virgil Ortiz. We fought Shakur Stevenson. So we fought most of the amateurs that are pros now, that are successful. Okay. But you know who I really give credit to?
Cool.
Very important, Chris. And I need for you to capitalize this. Are the dads.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this, man. This is so important. The dads are no joke. The dads know their son more backwards and forwards. They know them better than any coach out there. A coach would say, yeah, I could train your boy. Yeah, I know you can. First, you got to be qualified. And secondly, don't think you know my son more than I do because you don't. But if a father is humble like I am, here's that word, then you're going to understand that I did what I had to do because I am not going to lose the relationship I have and the love that I have for my son just because I have an ego. No, I'm not going to do that because What happened now, since he picked me as his head trainer, guess what? All the glory to God, because it was a cycle, and it's God's time now, and it's our time. And that's why I'm a happy man and a happy father.
You talked about the dads and capitalizing on it. Now that we're on this topic, Brian Norman Jr., he suffers a loss against Devin Haney and replaces his dad. There's, talks of him possibly, choosing Derek James. They're working together, seeing if it
I
fits.
think he already. I think he already did. But see, I don't know the history of Norman Jr. I don't know the history, how many times that happened. But let's face it. Okay, in boxing, a trainer, and this is very valuable. What I'm going to say to coaches or dads, for that matter, you basically have two chances with your son in boxing. In baseball, you have three strikes, you're out, right? Well, in boxing, it's two strikes and you're out. Because the son will always say, "Hey, Dad, let's try it again," just like that. "Hey, Dad," he won't even think nothing more than that, and say, "Hey, let's make some corrections." That's a given. That's understandable. "Hey, you know what, son? Let's move on." But if you lose twice, it's not going to happen, because now your son gave you a chance and you didn't fulfill his needs. You didn't fulfill his, promises, what he wants to win. You didn't fulfill that dream. So for that reason, most trainers will get terminated, or even the dads. And it's very important to understand that. So you got to be careful. But usually a fighter will give a trainer two chances unless something weird happens. Weird. And I think with Norman Jr., I don't know, like I said, the history. Uh, Connor Ben, same thing. You have some issues there that either you straighten them out or they're gonna let you go, or you can become the assistant. I decided to become an assistant when Ryan was with Joe, with Derek, and Eddie Reynoso, which him and I are undefeated. Because I'm gonna tell you this: I had Ryan at 12 wins, 11 KOs as a professional. So not like I hadn't been there. I've been there.
Yeah,
And
Oscar
each
De La Hoya just mentioned that yesterday in the videos, talking about that. He really feels like it's a great idea that you're
it's
the head
perfect.
coach right now. A focused and a happy Ryan is a dangerous Ryan.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, he's right on. He's like 1,000% right on, because I'm telling you right now, again, nobody knows my son like I do. And the way I got him right now, he's gonna be dangerous. If you think he looked good against Oscar Duarte, you're gonna see the real Ryan. You're gonna see him, okay? Because he is mind, body, and soul. 100%. And I love it because we have a good communication. The way we talk, the way we interact. It's like the way we did it when I had him in 12 fights, 12 wins, 11 KOs. Okay, and for a father to step down again, I only did it because I'm not going to ruin that relationship with my son. If you and I decide that, obviously the trainer has to be qualified. If you decide that, I got no beef with that. That's okay. You know why? You know why? You know what's important in life is that I'm still the father, no matter what. I'm still the father. I can be the assistant, which I have been. And don't think that when Ryan comes to the corner, he doesn't look at me. He looks at me. He's waiting for me to say something, and I'll say little things to him before he sits down on the corner as an assistant. But he knows that all I have to say is just a couple words or maybe one word that did it. He'll understand what I mean. That's how good our communication is.
When I talked about, not working with Derek James in our last interview, you talked to me about, him, being a losing coach, and seeing that Norman, could possibly be working with Derek James. Do you feel like it's a good move?
Well, again, it's under the circumstances. What happened? I mean, you and your son, you both got to have a good understanding, and even that can can cause some issues. Just like Mayweather Senior. I know you've seen that before. Mayweather Senior and
Train De La Hoya for the Mayweather fight.
yeah, same thing. So even that can happen. And let me tell you, had Senior Mayweather Senior hadn't gone to jail right when he was starting to peak, him and his father would have conquered just as good. But that's why one of the reasons why when he went to jail, he went with his uncle. You know, um, rest in peace. Roger Mayweather. So things like that can happen. So as far as Brian Norman and Junior, whatever happened, I don't know. I can't even speculate if I wanted to because I don't know the history. I don't know their how they connect with each other. I really don't. I worry about what I connect with my son. That's what I'm concerned about. And when I talk to my son, him and I really come together, and we're undefeated. Okay, just like Eddie Reynoso, he was with Eddie Reynoso. He won all his fights with Eddie, but I was the assistant too. So it's like that was good. But Eddie, of course, he had Canelo, and there were some issues earlier that maybe there was a misunderstanding on some words, because that happens. So it fell apart, But it's okay, Nothing's perfect in this world. Don't worry about that. Things can always come together. Remember that. Don't worry if something bad happens. Don't worry if you get, you know, this and that. Don't worry about it because your son will always love you and will always come back to you.
Right.
That's just like a father shouldn't ever leave their son or daughter. In this case, the sons, because they're always gonna need that. It's a comfortness. It's a comfortness for a child. It's warmth, and they really need that. Trust me. Whether they're kids or they're teenagers or they're adults, they're always gonna need their father to look up to. So you got to be on top of your game, not only as a father, but whatever you decide to be that's supporting them in whatever they're doing. So be it. Be the
Right.
best you can be. And like they say, father knows best. you know, I mean, yeah, as much as I don't like Bill, hey, I know he was there for Haney. So I have to give Bill the credit, even though I don't like him. He don't like me. I don't like him. It's okay. But what I'm getting at is I'm speaking facts. Bam Bam Rodriguez. I can't give Robert Garcia credit. Hell no. You gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I give the father credit. They're already made. Virgil Ortiz, who do I give credit to?
The father.
Yeah. I was there in San Antonio. We fought Virgil Ortiz when he was like, 11, 12 years old. The father, Raymond Moratia, the father. No, Robert Garcia, give me a break. I respect Robert Garcia. Hell yeah. Of all the accomplishments, yeah, I respect him. But I'm not going to respect him for what he's doing to these other fighters. They're already made. He's just polishing them up. But I guarantee you that they could fight the same way if their fathers trained them. I'm
Mm-mm.
not kidding you because I've seen it already. I've seen Bam Bam's father train. I've seen Virgil Ortiz's father train. I've seen Devin Haney's father train him and Raymond Moratti. I've seen the fathers. I give them credit 100%.
So, it's just, I don't like that. And I'm only throwing a little bit of shade because I didn't like what he said about, oh, well, maybe they're just doing it because they want to keep it all in the family. That's bullshit. What are you talking about? I'm fucking qualified. I mean, it just pisses me off, Pisses me off that they want all the fucking credit knowing that they just were handed to them already. They're already made. And that's just a few that I know of. There's probably more in that gym. But you want me to give you credit? Hey, find a kid that you've trained since he was 7 or 8 years old and see how far you've taken him. He says that I didn't. He says, well, he didn't. Henry didn't take him from the amateurs to the pro. Bullshit. That's where you're fucking wrong. I took my son to 15 national titles, and I had him as a pro, 12 wins with 11 KOs. What do you mean I didn't take him? I decided to step down because my son and I decided, you know what? Let's learn a little bit more. Okay, that's fine. Not that I couldn't have done it. I mean, but as humble as I am, I'm going to do it. Once again, I'd rather have my son's love than something that he said, well, Dad, we should have done this. We should have done. No, I'd rather have my son's love than else right now. I'm still doing it. But this time, we're going for a championship and we're going to get this win.
Speaking of
So
that,
be it.
you guys had Joe Guzman once upon a time. Ryan has said on the Ring magazine podcast that that was the mole. That was the mole. He was the mole. I mean, what do you think about Ryan's words and obviously in the same time, Joe stepping in to help Mario Barrios for this fight?
Okay, well, okay, that's a good question. I can't really speculate too much because Ryan's gonna probably answer that the day of the press conference. I could tell you that much, okay? Let him reveal that. I know everything, so it's okay. But I'm not gonna spoil that for my son. Let him defend himself, and you're gonna know the reason. Um, I could say it, but I don't want to. But I don't do that. I don't cross lines with my son like that, because he needs to speak his piece, But yeah, like he said in one of the interviews, how did people know that his rib was shattered or broken? Right? How did he know? He goes, "There's only two people that really knew. It was me or Joe Goosen."
And the
And he
sparring
goes,
partner, right? And the sparring partner.
"Yeah, but sparring partner, I'm talking about deep. I'm talking about deep. If
Mm.
you know what I mean, if you can read between the lines, I'm talking about deep. Who would know, and who would he say that to? That's deep, but I can't say it. But you're gonna hear it. Okay, you're gonna hear it." And that's when Ryan said, "It wasn't my dad, because my dad wouldn't double cross me." And usually and always never happens. But who else? You see, so Ryan will do whatever he has to do. He's gonna say what he has to say, and it's gonna be valid. Just like when you get boop the doctor, they're gonna tell you what happened. You're gonna say, "I don't know. I just fucking took this. I ate this, and then, well, you didn't know." The same shit. So stop saying my son cheated. And ostarine is not a fucking steroid. It's not. Okay, but anyways, I don't care about that. Oh, what I can say is that didn't Ryan take a lie detector test? He took a lie detector test recently, and this man is very credible. Credible.
What's his name?
His name is I'll get it to you let me look it up. But I called him personally. I called him personally. I have it, but I can't remember. But I called him, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, I know you did a lie detector test with my son and this other person. You know, I said I just want to know, is it accurate?" And you know what he said? He said it's very accurate. I was like, that's it. That's all I need to know. Okay, so when Ryan says he didn't cheat, he didn't cheat. Ryan knows that. But the world is hard to convince because you can't fight. You can fight one person, but always remember you can't fight an army by yourself. You can't. But what you can say is that you could go and you can get tested, which a lot of people won't dare to do. But Ryan says, hey, give me the questions. Did I ever take cocaine? Nope. And he goes, thumbs up. You're telling the truth. A lot of people say, oh, he's on cocaine. He's this and that. You know, he's connected with Oscar. Oscar does cocaine. Maybe he does. You know, maybe he does. But I don't care. It's none of my business. You know? It's none of my business. But I'll tell you this much. My son, Ryan, does not do cocaine and he never will. I never did cocaine. And that's thumbs up, brother. Okay? And that's the truth, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that everything gets exposed eventually in life. So you got to stop saying that my son cheated because I'm telling you, we beat the guy in the amateurs. He beat us too, granted, he did. But we beat him. And I think we beat him in more serious fashion than he beat us. Okay? Because we busted his eardrum out in West Virginia. He told his father, I can't even hear. Ryan gave him one of those hooks and he was out. Okay. So they know us. And all the other fights, Ryan knocks out people, right? He knocks out people. He was always negative. So all of a sudden, he's positive? That's kind of weird. So when you're unaware of something, you cannot be guilty. I mean, tell me, if you're unaware, can you be guilty? It's hard. It's hard. It's very hard. I mean, think about it. If you don't know what the hell happened, how the hell can you say? Now, you know who's freaking guilty? You know who's guilty? You want to know? Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, David Wells, Lance Armstrong. I can go on and on. Barry Bonds. Now, them suckers are guiltier than shit. Those are the ones that are guilty. And you know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. Okay? It's been written and they've been caught. So if my son says he's unaware of something fucking minute, how the fuck can he be guilty? He can't because he didn't know. But these other people that I just mentioned, they fucking knew. They knew. And who was behind that shit? Rest in peace. I'm not even going to say his name because I still don't like him. And as far as I'm concerned, I think it was a setup. And I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. But I'm too busy right now training my boy and getting him well prepared. And he ain't going to go in 12 rounds.
Okay. Okay. I mean, talking to Bob Santos, you know, you seen the interview. I mean, he talks
Yeah.
about, you know, the fight itself.
Yeah.
Doesn't believe in the mole situation whatsoever. He believes that.
Well, because he's never been there. See, the thing is, you know, he should stop saying crap like that. If you don't know and you're not there, don't say you know because you don't know. That's the same shit people say, well, he cheated. How the fuck can you say he cheated if you weren't there? If my son didn't even fucking know? How could you say that? That's the same shit what Bob Santos is saying. He doesn't know. He only saying that because he's kissing ass to Joe Goosen. That's why he's saying that shit. Of course he's got to be on Joe's side. Joe will kick him out. He's just kissing ass right now. You
Do you
know?
do you think they need the extra edge that to get Joe Guzman in this fight for Ryan Garcia?
No, because there's one thing that you can do and what you can teach. And I'm gonna bring it up in the press conference loud and clear. There's one thing no coach that's fighting my son can learn. And guess what that is?
Heart.
Nope. You can't teach how to take a punch from Ryan Garcia. You
Mm,
can't teach that, brother. There's no way. When Ryan hits you, he's gonna hit you. And you can't fucking learn. You can say, oh, block, put your hand up, he's gonna throw a hook. Oh shit, step back or slip. Yeah, might work here and there. But my son's so smart. When he hits you, that's one thing a coach can't teach their fighter is how to take a punch from my son. And believe me, that's gonna happen. So, Bob Santos can say all that stuff because he's on that side now. Like they say, what did one of those reporters said that if you can't beat them, join them or something like that? I don't know. It's
right.
almost the same concept. And yeah, they're trying to get the advantage. I mean, they got to do something because if you can't beat, an H Pacquiao, there's some issues there. I mean, that's questionable. I mean, you can't just, I don't know. It's like, hey man, that's on them. But it doesn't matter because Santos said that if he fights this way, he's got a good chance. If he doesn't fight this way, it's a 50-50. It's like, dude,
Yep.
you know what I say?
Talk to me.
My son's 100%. Fuck this 50-50 shit. My
Ooh.
son's
Okay.
100%. Brother.
Energy. Energy. Okay.
That's right, bro. Fuck this shit. I know my son's 100%. On this fight, hell yeah. Nah,
Do you feel like Bob had some doubt when he said that?
huh?
Do you feel like Bob had some doubt when he said that?
Of course. Of course. He knows my son. My son ain't easy to beat. When he's 100%, bro, he ain't easy to beat. Okay, let me ask you this. Had my son, yeah, I know he got dropped here and there because of the mole. Yeah, that's fine. And then Broly got dropped. Okay. Campbell, he got dropped.
Right.
Right? I mean, okay. Marquez got dropped. Pacquiao got dropped. A lot of people get dropped.
Mm-hmm.
But it's how you come back. Whether you come back that day or you come back the following time. And boxers, let me tell you this, it's very important. They go through some issues, personal issues, that can really play on them. You've seen Danny Garcia, you've seen Andy Reese recently. They go through some issues, man. And my son is no different. But when my son's 100%, the way he is right now, oh shit, bro. Mm, that's bad news. He's become very dangerous. Very dangerous. And you're going to see him. Come February 21st, you're going to see what I'm talking about. With Rolly, he had some issues. I can't speculate on that. But only I know my son's downfalls. I know everything. Once again, a father knows best. A father would know their son more than anyone. More than anyone on this earth. But of course, Jesus will know you too. But um, that's the way it is. You got to understand all these things. It's so important in life. But when you have your son, mind, body, and soul, and you know that he's understanding what's at task, that's when you know that it's time. It's our time.
You say Ryan Garcia stops Barrios. Do you feel like it's late, early? How do you see it playing out even before that, knockout comes?
Well, I mean, Brian, I don't ever say anything about a knockout because I can't predict the rounds. I can't. But I tell you this much: it's remember you don't get paid to go 12 rounds. Remember that. You can get paid second, third round, fourth round, just the same way. We're here to win, man. We're not here to, shake hands. We're here to win. And the way Ryan is right now, well, all I can say is come February 21st, you're going to know that he's ready. He's already ready. I mean, you've seen his abs. You've seen him. You've seen what he looks. He looks, wow, awesome. Awesome. That means we're working. We're working. So don't let the living room fool you or anything like that. Don't let that fool you because we're really working. We're working. And we love it, but like I said, it's Ryan, whatever he says about Joe, that's him. You know, Ryan's his own man. Of course, I'm there to support him because I know the truth too. But let Ryan handle all that stuff. But hey, they wanted to go that route. More power to them. I mean, but I hope they don't think that Ryan's gonna fight like he did with Rolly. That's a joke. I hope not. Shit. I know they're smarter than that. But you'll see the real Ryan February 21st. Guaranteed.
I love it. I love it. Connor Ben, very outspoken, now number one in the WBC, wants the winner
Mhm.
of this fight. What do you think?
Yeah.
What's your comments on some of the comments that he's putting out there?
Well, I mean, they have the right to speak out. I mean, Eddie Hearns, Hunter Ben, they have the right, But, as a father and as a coach, our eyes are set on Mario Barrios. Let me take care of that first, Then I can answer you that question. Because, our focus is Mario, not Connor, not Teofimo, not Devin Haney. I mean, we got a lot of fights ahead of us. A lot of fights ahead of us. And you know it too. I got to take care of this before I can even move on, And that's why we're being well prepared. You know,
When you look
that's
at Mario Barrios, looking at the resume that you guys have so far, where do you
yeah.
rate him when it comes to competition? Is this your toughest fight yet?
Ooh, Mario?
Mario, yeah, your title shot.
No, bro. No,
No.
no, 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 no. I'm sorry. I mean, I like Mario. I like him. I do. I think I know his other coach, not Bob Santos, but the assistant. I like him. I forget his name, but I like him. But I always respect all the fighters. But if you ask me, just like they ask boxers, even Mayweather, who was the toughest guy you fought? They're going to tell you eventually. And one of the toughest that I've heard already, and I already know, is Luke Campbell and Oscar Duarte. Them suckers are hard. Now they're hard. Okay, those are hard fighters, man. Try to fight. Why do you think Haney's not picking Oscar Duarte? Why do you think that dude will knock you out, bro? He's no joke.
Well, at the end of the day, Devin Haney is the 147 champ. Duarte's at that 140 pounds. Seems like he's going to be fighting on the card as
Oh,
well.
I know, but you know what? 7 pounds more. I'm telling you, Oscar's hungry. That dude's hungry.
Seems like it.
People can slip right up there. We could. I mean, don't be surprised. I'm not saying that it could happen right now, but because we got so many people ahead of us. But I'll tell you this much: Ryan's set on 154 as well down the road because of his height. But right now, we got to take care of 147 easily. We got to take care of that. But I mean, don't think that these boxers have their eyes just set on that. They're, they eventually go up, and you're like, oh shit, they went up. Yeah, they went up because they want to be pound for pound, and that's their goal. Now, some make it, some don't, but it's out there. It's out there. Honestly, it's out there. I would love to fight Virgil Ortiz one day, especially after what Robert said. You know
Mm.
that he can knock out Ryan. I'm gonna tell you this: has Ryan ever been knocked out? If you know my son, and I told this to a lot of coaches who didn't like me, I don't know why, but they say, well, we're going to knock out your boy. And you know what I tell them? Do you know my son? And they say, yeah, we know your son. Well, if you know my son, you know you're not going to knock him out. It's hard to beat my son, much less knock him out. I mean, that's the truth. I'm his dad. I'm telling you straight up. I'm telling you right now, it's very hard to knock out my son, much less beat him and beat him and beat him and beat him and beat him. To the point where his head is all messed up, his jaw is broken, it's, all that shit. It's hard. Have you seen Ryan that way? Have you seen Ryan in those conditions?
No, no, no. I just
Exactly.
no.
I mean, like I said, things happen. Things happen. I'm not going to say, but for you to hit my son and hit my son and hit my son and hit my son and hit my son, that ain't going to happen. No, not going to happen. Not like this. Heck no. But like I said, I respect all the fighters, and I do. I respect coaches too. I do. I respect coaches and I respect boxers. But you got to respect me and you got to respect my son. You got to
Right.
do the same. If I'm going to respect you, then you got to respect me. If not, I don't need to talk to you. It's okay.
Fair to say. Fair to say. Obviously in the news, Oscar De La Hoya dealing with a lawsuit with Virgil Ortiz. You just mentioned talking about
Yeah.
Virgil Ortiz wanting to face
Yeah.
him, but there's this fight that wants to be made this year with him and Jerome Boots Ennis. Now Virgil
Yeah.
Ortiz's manager saying that we're gonna have a lawsuit. I mean, a lot of people are saying, hey, after this, most likely, Ryan would be next when it comes down to these lawsuits. I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
What do you mean lawsuits?
I mean,
Ryan's going
this
to.
yeah, this big fight. So they say, when a fighter, normally he sees your promoter can't do any more for him. They say that they leave the promoter and they go and do it on their own. And when it
Well,
comes
I
down
mean,
to this fight with Virgil, it just seems like
yeah.
they're trying to push Oscar away from this fight. Possibly, I don't know. He says he's
Well,
still got a legal contract. So, yeah.
okay. Let me clarify Ryan's situation first. Okay,
Yep.
Ryan has one fight with Golden Boy that's 1,000%. It's connected. Okay. The other two fights that he might have, it's not as connected. My understanding. But Golden Boy still plays the role with Ryan in the next two fights or whatever, but not as much as. Um, I don't want to say too much about that, but that's my understanding. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I do know that this fight is all Golden Boy. Now,
Oh
as
no,
far
this is
as
a
Burger,
golden. I heard this is a Golden Boy and PBC event, and I heard that Turkey is also involved in it.
oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah. The Zone is also involved in it. The Zone, Turkey Al Sheikh, PBC, and Golden Boy. Yeah, but I thought you meant about his contract with Strictly Golden Boy.
as well. Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know right now you got different, promoters out there. Yeah, of course, that part is true. Um, but as far as Virgil Ortiz, again, I can't answer too much because I don't even know how their contracts laid out, and I don't even want to know because you know uh, all I know is that when Golden Boy tells you that they're under contract, Oscar's no joke. He's not playing. He is not playing unless you can find something. But when he talks about a contract, he's pretty set on that contract, and you have to abide by the contract. Again, like I said, I don't know what's in the contract. I don't know, and I don't care to know because that's between them.
Well, there it is. There it is. Coach, where do you think people will be expecting February 21st?
Well, you're gonna expect the new WBC welterweight champion of the world. That's what my prediction is.
What does that mean to
Okay,
you?
that means my son's gonna win, whether he wins by knockout, which pretty much that's where we're headed. But anything can happen. It could be unanimous decision, but we're gonna become victorious because, like I said, unless you have a bulldozer, and you have like 12 machine guns, then you're gonna beat my son. If you don't have that, I don't see it happening. I really don't. Because Brian, like I said, when he's 100%, he becomes very dangerous. And remember what I just said right now, because I'm going to say something at the press conference that relates to exactly what I just said. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Yeah, nah, can't wait. Um,
Yeah.
Tell me when it comes down to January 31st. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think about Keyshawn Davis and Jermaine Ortiz on that co-main event?
I mean, all those fights are coming up, man. People are
Yeah.
they're gonna be tuned in, because even Frank Sanchez is on the undercard, and you know who's training him? Eddie Reynoso. I
Yep.
trained Frank. I trained Frank Sanchez
Yep. He's fighting
for one
Richard
of his
Torres, the
yeah for
Olympian.
one of for one of his fights. So I know Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez is when he's in shape and all that, he's a beast. So I'm gonna say hi to Eddie. Sure he's gonna say hi to us, and it's gonna be one heck of a show, man. Because you got people fighting. It's gonna be interesting. Even what is Oscar Duarte fighting too, right?
Possibly fighting Richardson Hitchens. What do you think about that fight?
Good. I'm telling you, man, that's gonna be good. That is gonna be good. It's just
We just had
you know,
Antuanne Russell, the WBA champion at 140 pounds, on earlier. He'll also be on the card fighting Andy Roca.
yeah. Wow. I'm telling you, I don't even know those things. That's why I'm telling you that my focus is Mario Barrios. But I did hear about Frank Sanchez. But you're saying that Oscar's fighting Richardson, right?
That's still in negotiations, but the fight that's for sure is Gary Antoine Russell against Andy Roca for the WBA title. That's for
Wow.
sure on the card.
Yeah. Gary Russell Jr. is awesome, man.
Yeah.
I like him. I like him. But dude's sharp. He's sharp. Like I said, I don't know the full extent of the undercard, but there's some good fights. It's going to be a really good night of boxing. Let me tell you.
No, January. Oh yeah, for sure. February,
Right?
great.
I
January,
mean,
definitely.
right? It's gonna be. I mean, it's moving forward. And this year, you're gonna have some. Man, you're gonna have better fights than you did last year,
Yeah. Got the Zuffa
right?
League. Zuffa League is starting January 26th, I think.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
that?
it's the first fight. Okay.
Yeah, be like next week. I think you're gonna be having Callum Walsh on the main event on that. Some good fights on there as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, this year is going to be exciting, and it's going to be people are going to love boxing. And this year is going to be exciting. I mean, it's already gonna be. It's gonna get off to a good start, like you said. Come January 26th, 31st, it's gonna be awesome. And then February, of course, and then the big day, February 21st. So at the T-Mobile station arena in Las Vegas. So it's gonna be nice. I'm
Ab-
looking forward to all that. But yeah,
Absolutely.
but again, keep in mind, and no disrespect to uh, Bob Santos, no disrespect to Robert Garcia or anything like that, but or even Al Jury or Chris Al Jury, whatever, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. If you're gonna talk about my son and our careers and all that, you better have some facts, man. You gotta have some facts, and you better do your damn research before you start talking crap about my boy, okay? Because I'm telling you, if anybody knows my son, are the people that I know that they've trained their son as an amateur. They know me. They know me. Okay. Bill Haney really knows me. And I'll tell you right now, he knows that we don't play.
Mhm.
You know, he knows for a fact, deep in his heart. I don't care what he says, he knows that he could never beat my son, especially what happened that day. And my son was only 30%. I'm being honest. Again, I know my son's downfalls. I know what happened, but it's just you don't want to fight Ryan right now. No, not right now. He's dangerous. I'm being honest. I'm
I
being
love it.
honest.
I love it. I love it. Coach, let everybody know where they can find you on social media. Let everybody know what's going on with the fierce flex bag.
Yes, here's
Let
reflex
everybody know
bag.
what's going
Yes,
on before we let you go. Appreciate your time
yes.
as well.
I appreciate you as well. Yeah, you can reach me. You can DM me at Pro Coach Henry, and then of course you got to get that fierce reflex bag. I sell for adults and youth now for amateur.
I love it. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your time. Like always, man. Stay blessed and have a great
I
training
will.
camp.
I will. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye
You
bye.
got it, brother. You got it. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Become a member. The link is in the comments. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate all the people that are on the live today and was able to, check us out. Appreciate all the donations. Shout out to everybody that's been a guest, from Bernie to Antoine Russell to Henry Garcia. To everybody that has been on the live, really appreciate you guys. And I see everyone in the comments, all the fighters as well. Appreciate you guys also for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys. And we'll be back most likely tomorrow. All right. Appreciate you guys. Stay blessed.